This is what we expect the offensive line to look like. Broderick Jones at left tackle. Redshirt sophomore from Lithonia, Georgia, Xavier Truss at left guard, a junior from Rhode Island. Cedric Van Pran, the center, redshirt sophomore from New Orleans, Louisiana. Tate Ratledge at right guard, redshirt sophomore from Rome, Georgia. Marius Mims, sophomore from Cochran, Georgia, at right tackle. The tight ends, Brock Bauer, sophomore from Napa, California. Darnell Washington, a junior from Las Vegas, Nevada. Wide receivers, Marcus Rosemy-Jackson, a junior from Pompano Beach, Florida. We expect to see Ladd McConkey tonight as well, redshirt sophomore from Chatsworth, Georgia. Kieris Jackson, a senior from Fort Valley. Should see A.D. Mitchell as well, a sophomore from Missouri City, Texas. Running backs, Kenny McIntosh, senior from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Kendall Milton, a junior from Fresno, California. Dejon Edwards, a junior from Norman Park, Georgia. And the quarterback, Stetson Bennett, a senior from Blackshear, Georgia. That's the Bulldogs offense. We'll step aside for just a moment. Kickoff less than 10 minutes away. Georgia and Ohio State on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Want more exclusives and behind-the-scenes Bulldogs content, more game highlights, mic'd ups, and original programming? Search for the Georgia Bulldogs All Access channel on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Georgia Bulldogs All Access, your official inside connection to Georgia football and all Georgia Bulldogs sports.
First time I ran onto the field as a freshman, Sanford Stadium was rocking. Thousands of Georgia fans were calling the dogs. I was ready to run through a brick wall. Even today, I still get goosebumps. It fires us up. It's a tradition every Georgia fan loves.
This Bulldog tradition is brought to you by your local Ford dealer, where you'll find the official truck of the national champion Georgia Bulldogs, the Ford F-150 pickup. Not all models, trims, or features may be available. Contact your dealer for more information.
This is Coach Kirby Smart. Go Dogs.
When you get the delicious Zaxby's chicken finger plate, one sauce is just never enough. But don't worry, because we have 12 dippable flavor-packed sauces to go with every hand-breaded chicken finger we bite. Select one from our 12 sauce options. Endless sauce abilities, only at Zaxby's.
Don't go anywhere. The Dogs are coming right back. You're listening to the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
You know the expression, home for the holidays. This is Kirby Smart, and I'm proud to call Georgia home like my friends at Southeast Mortgage. They have been in business since 1993, they are Georgia grown, and they are the lender built to last. When you're in the market for a place to come home to this holiday season, make the smart choice and choose the team I trust. Find them online at southeastmortgage.com/UGA. Southeast Mortgage, the official home loan lender of the Georgia Bulldogs.
Southeast Mortgage of Georgia, Inc. NMLS number 103956. Georgia Residential Mortgage Licensee number 6578.
With the Kroger Plus card, it's easy to get lower than low prices for the win. And for every dollar you spend, you earn fuel points, which can add up to $1 per gallon off at the pump for the win. Plus, save every day on groceries and get personalized digital coupons for the win. The Kroger Plus card, all you do is win. Big, big savings. Sign up now at Kroger.com and start saving. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply.
Well, the lights are out inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium. They're showing the run through the season for both teams on the big Halo video boards at the top of the dome. The dome is closed, by the way, in case you were wondering, and temperature outside in the 50s. Here in Atlanta, inside, it's nice and cool and comfortable, and no threat of rain. Here's the T-Mobile defensive starters for Georgia. The guys we expect to see: Zion Logue, Nazir Stackhouse, Jalen Carter on the defensive line. The linebackers, Jamon Dumas-Johnson, Smile Munden, and Robert Beal in the secondary. Most likely Kamari Lassiter, Keely Ringo at the corners. And then the safeties, Christopher Smith and Malachi Starks, and Javon Bullard as the nickel. Smith, an All-American for Georgia this year. Jalen Carter, an All-American for Georgia this year. And a host of other guys that were named All-SEC for the Bulldogs. And Ohio State certainly has their fair share of All-America honors players as well. Georgia will be in red tonight, red jerseys, silver breeches, red helmets. Ohio State, as the designated visiting team with the lower seed, they will be in white jerseys and the pewter pants and the silver or pewter helmets as well, with the Buckeye decals, logos on the helmet. Our officiating crew is from the Pac-12 tonight. Chris Coite is the referee. And we're going to have the coin toss in just a few moments now as the Dogs come out of the tunnel to our right to this entrance. With the cheerleaders leading the way with the 3 large flags in red, white, and black, and through the smoke of the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl helmet. Right in front of the tunnel, the Dogs are on the far sideline from our vantage point. Now Ohio State, the same treatment to the near side of the field. So we've got both combatants on the playing surface and ready to go. We're going to have the toss of the coin here momentarily. The captains for Georgia tonight will be Christopher Smith, the safety, Cedric Van Pran, the center, Stetson Bennett, the quarterback, and Nolan Smith, who is injured and unable to play in this ball game, but has been an integral part of the team since his injury. He's got his number 4 jersey on over his regular clothes and will approach the middle of the field as one of Georgia's captains. I believe the honorary captain tonight is Champ Bailey for Georgia. Is that right? And again, our officials are from the Pac-12, so we'll see what we get out of that tonight. I'm not sure. Z, what, do you think different conference officials call games differently when they don't see? I mean, they haven't seen a lot of SEC football this year, a lot of Big Ten football, I would imagine.
I think every conference has its nuances in how they call games, but pretty much the crews that get to this level are all the best of the best crews, so expect a well-called football game.
Our coin toss is brought to you by Georgia's own credit union, banking on purpose. Now, they will not allow our sideline man, DJ Shockley, out on the field for this, even though there's about 30 other people out there on the logo in the middle of the field. But I think we get the audio, right?
Happy New Year. And welcome to the College Football Playoff. Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. I'm Chris Coit, the referee. This is Greg Adams, our umpire. We're from the Pac-12 Conference. We're honored to be here today. And we congratulate both teams for earning the opportunity to compete for a chance at a national title. Now, a special occasion requires a special coin. On one side of tonight's coin is the logo of the College Football Playoff and the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. This is heads. On the other side of the coin is the image of Mercedes-Benz Stadium. This is tails. Ohio State, you're the visiting team. Heads or tails? Heads is the call. It is tails. Georgia is won. Georgia is deferring their choice for the second half. Ohio State, you're going to take the ball. Which way would you like to kick? Then you're going to turn your backs this way. Ohio State.
All right, there you go. Georgia wins the toss. The Dogs, as we've seen them do most of the season, they will defer their choice to the second half. And the Dogs will be on defense first. Ohio State on offense. And the opening kick is brought to you by Georgia Power, powered by Georgia Power. Here as we get the Peach Bowl underway in just a moment. It doesn't matter where in the Peach State you're cheering on the Dogs. Georgia Power is energizing your community. Visit georgiapower.com/community to learn more. Well, Shock wasn't able to go out for the coin toss, but he was in the locker room with the team before they exited the locker room. And he's got the pregame message down on the sideline. DJ.
Georgia, it was an intense message. It was a message that I didn't expect. First thing he said was, I'm tired of us looking, everybody's talking about how impressive they are, their offense, their offensive line, their defense. He said, I'm tired of being disrespected, and this is a game that we got to go out and show them how we play in the SEC. Nobody does it like we do it. He pointed out some things they did in practice and said, this time to go show them. We got one time to show them. Let's go show them with our connection, and let's go get it.
All right, the master motivator, Kirby Smart, with that message from Shock. And DJ will be brought to you by Ken Nugent on the sidelines all night long. Xavier Johnson gets back in his receiving spot for Ohio State. The Dogs will kick it from left to right from our vantage point as we watch from the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Jack Podlesny, the SEC Special Teams Player of the Year, will kick it away, and we are underway in Atlanta in the college football playoffs. Pod's kick sailing to the left side of the end zone. It will land about 5 yards deep. Ohio State will walk away from it and take the touchback. And here we go. 1st and 10 at the 25 for the Buckeyes. And their All-American quarterback, C.J. Stroud. Dogs defensively, Z, with Stackhouse and Carter, as we mentioned, and Tramel Walthour in the starting lineup tonight. Beal and Dumas Johnson and Smile Munden, the linebackers. And here we go.
C.J. Stroud, extremely accurate, 66% completion percentage on the year. Can make every throw in the book.
And the first play will be a pass, and it is complete to the 34.5. Twisted around is Marvin Harrison Jr., twisted around by Malachi Starks. It looked like he almost got up high around the face mask, but no flag on the play as his head kind of snapped back. But it's a quick gain of 11 to the 36-yard line and a first down for Ohio State.
Dogs brought pressure right out of the gate. Good recognition by Stroud to get to the open receiver there.
Snap back to Stroud in the shotgun. They'll run it on this carry at left guard. That is Dallin Hayden, a freshman from Memphis, Tennessee, who angles towards the 40, stopped short at the 39-yard line by Carter and Walthour, our defensive linemen. And the gain was 3 for the Buckeyes. 2nd down and 7 for Ohio State on their own 39.
Dogs again aggressive. Another linebacker pressure right out of the gates. Weren't able to get any penetration on it, but Dogs early in this football game bringing heat.
3 receivers set in this formation. Stroud, a throw to the wide side right for Harrison, and he misses his target, incomplete at midfield. Harrison covered by Keely Ringo, and Stroud threw it about 3 yards to his right as it skips into the sideline on the far side of the field.
Dogs that time just brought 4 down linemen, dropped back into zone, had Ringo one-on-one with Harrison on the outside. Good job. Looked like Stroud and Harrison not quite on the same page. Harrison ran a curl. Stroud threw an out route. Ball not close to being completed.
3rd down, 7 for the Buckeyes on their 39. 4 receivers in the formation, 2 to each side. Now 3 to the right. Stroud with pressure up the middle. He'll go down back at the 28-yard line. Smile Munden, the linebacker, shot the gap, came straight down the hash, and sacked Stroud back on the 28.
Great blitz design right there by the Dogs defensive coaching staff. We went zone blitz, dropped a defensive lineman right into the hot route where you would typically throw that, brought linebacker pressure, confused the Ohio State offensive line. We come through untouched. Good start to this football game by the Georgia defense.
Spot of the ball goes to the 29, a 10-yard loss. Ohio State with Mirko to kick it away. Kieris Jackson, the deep receiver, he moves to his right, waves for a fair catch at the 25 and makes the grab. Georgia will have it after a 3-and-out by Ohio State, and the Dogs finished it resoundingly with a sack, a 10-yard loss on a 46-yard punt now by Ohio State. Will give Georgia the football, and they spot it at the 26 of Georgia. So we'll see the Dogs on offense for the first time. Bulldogs football brought to you in part tonight by your Atlanta area BMW centers. Legendary performance, exceptional offers, and a premium ownership experience at BMW. They only make one thing, the ultimate driving machine. Visit BMWATL.com today, proud sponsor of Georgia Athletics. Dogs on the 26, first touch of the game offensively. Bennett in the shotgun. Will throw on his first play. Throws it out to A.D. Mitchell. Get him going early. Makes the catch at the 30 and gets about 5 or 6 more yards up to the 37-yard line. Tackled by Cameron Brown, the corner, and a first down on the first play up to the 37-yard line, a gain of 11.
Buckeyes in cover 3. Just a quick out route there by A.D. Mitchell. It's good to see him back full speed and going again, but a quick out route against soft coverage there. Nice pitch and catch for the first down.
Dogs get the Scana Energy first down. Now it's 1st and 10 from the 37. We'll throw it again and hit Marcus Rosemy-Jack-Saint on the near hash mark on a reaching catch around the 40 or so. Hit immediately by the linebacker Eichenberg and the cornerback Brown again. Ball's on the 43 is where the tackle was made. A 6-yard pickup for the Dogs. It'll be 2nd down and 4.
Good read there by Stetson Bennett. That time Ohio State went cover 2. We just had a quick out route inside by Rosemy-Jack-Saint. Nice vision there. Good read by Stetson to get it to him. Nice pick up there on first down.
Two tight ends to the right, along with McConkey. Play fake. Bennett moves in the pocket, slings it over the middle. Caught crossing route. A.D. Mitchell at the 40 of Ohio State. Gets to the boundary and out of bounds at the Buckeye 35-yard line. Another Scana Energy first down and a gain of 22 on the play. Georgia goes quickly at the 35 of Ohio State.
Boy, great block there by Kenny McIntosh to protect Stetson Bennett.
Play fake Bennett. Pump fakes, now throws a deep ball, and his receiver had already cut off the route. A.D. Mitchell at the 20. The ball lands 15 yards over his head at the 5. So a long incompletion there will slow down the Georgia offense. Mitchell will go to the sideline after that play. And Arian Smith is going to check into the ball game for Georgia. McConkey will head out as well. We've got Dylan Bell and Arian Smith as the receivers. McIntosh in the backfield. The two tight ends are still in the game. Bowers and Washington for the Bulldogs. Second down and 10 from the Ohio State 35-yard line. First quarter, 11:36 to go in the period. We are scoreless here in Atlanta. Snap back to Bennett in an empty set. Throws it over the middle. The Big O grasps it with both hands at the 29. Backs his way to the 26. Falling down, tackled by Eichenberg and Chambers, the two linebackers for Ohio State. But to the 26, he got 9. It's third down and a yard to go. From the 26, we'll run it this time. No play fake. Bennett going to roll to the near side and get tripped up as he tried to get to the corner. Ohio State read it well. Boy, that was an excellent fake. We had running room on the left side if McIntosh had been carrying the football, but Bennett gets tripped up behind the line at the 29-yard line. He lost 3 on it. And Georgia will have to go reaching for a field goal now here on fourth down.
Boy, really good recognition there by Ohio State. They went cover 0,
44.
just crashed against the run. You're right. If we would have handed that football off, may have split it and gone to the house, but Ohio State read it all the way. Little bend but don't break there from the Buckeyes.
47-yard try. They kneel down on the 37. Stetson Bennett the holder. Podlesny to kick it. Snap it back. Placement is good. Kick is away, and we'll watch it. And it is no good. Pod misses from 47 yards. And we remain scoreless with a timeout. 10:31 to go. First quarter. Georgia and Ohio State. Our first half tonight presented by attorney Ken Nugent. Over $1.5 billion recovered. Now there's a number. And remember, there's only one call. 1-800-CALL-KEN. Missed it to the left. Podlesny did, and Ohio State will have the ball when we come back on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Georgia is our home. That's why at Georgia Power, we're building the future of energy. Over the last decade, we've invested nearly $10 billion to strengthen the electric grid, installing new substations, upgrading transformers, moving power lines underground, and investing in cleaner energy. We're making the electric grid more resilient and reliable for you and for future generations. At Georgia Power, we know that making smart investments today prepares us to meet our customers' needs tomorrow.
Piedmont is passionate about Georgia, about each and every person that make this state incredible. From farmers to creators, manufacturers to teachers, to the dedicated staff walking our hallways. It's why we're leading real change in healthcare, to empower you through tools that make it easy to book in minutes, check in before you walk in, and have your health information all in one place. Visit Piedmont.org. Piedmont. Real change lives here.
Dogs are heard right here. This is the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
365 days a year. Just call us up. We'll be right there. Our service is guaranteed. At Shoemate, we take great care. Our experts are always there for you and your family's needs. When you're just can't wait. You can always count on Shoemate.
Piedmont Bank is a proud partner of the UGA Athletic Association. When you need a business banking ally who is as invested in your goals as you are, you can depend on us. We are committed to supporting members of the local community by providing the tools they need to achieve financial success. Through our partnership with the UGA Athletic Association, we believe in a Georgia where we all succeed. Piedmont Bank, knowing you better, serving you best. Learn more at Piedmont.bank. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Back here in the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth in Atlanta, we're scoreless first quarter. Ohio State gets the ball after the Georgia missed field goal.
Can't hear you.
Buckeyes on their own 29. Stroud with a play fake, sets up the throw as he moves to his right, finds his man wide open. Just across midfield, that's Harrison. Boy, he had about 4 or 5 yards of room from our defense and steps out of bounds. He probably could have gotten more yardage there, but he steps out quietly at the 47-yard line of Georgia.
Yeah, deep out route there by Harrison. You're right, he just steps out of bounds. He had plenty of room to go run. Little half roll there by Ohio State. Moves Stroud in the pocket a little bit. Throw back against his body. Well-designed football play.
24-yard gain for the Buckeyes. 1st and 10, Ohio State on the Georgia 47, moving to our left. Stroud in the shotgun. One back in the backfield. 3 outs, 3 receivers to the right. Stroud will throw it over the middle. They're working in the middle of the field here early on in the contest. That pass is complete around the 35 to Emeka Ibuka and tackled almost immediately by Kamari Lassiter. And they spot it down at the 34 of Georgia. A gain of 13 yards for the Buckeyes. Another first down for Ohio State.
Dogs went man-to-man there, brought linebacker pressure again. Good job by Stroud, just sliding in the pocket, finding an open throwing lane. And then his crosser on that deep end route.
Stroud's going to go under center this time on 1st and 10 at the Dogs 34. They'll run it. Left side of the line of scrimmage, right into Stackhouse as Hayden tries to get behind the pile and drive, but Nazir holds him up. Blow the whistle at the 31-yard line. Gain was 3. Let's check in with Shock on the Ken Nugent sidelines. One call, that's all. DJ, what do you got?
Defense wants to move, wants to do a lot more movement, wants to move, wants to have pressure, wants to bring guys from the perimeter to keep C.J. Stroud inside the pocket, but they got to get the pressure from the inside. That's what the concern was coming off the last series.
All right, thanks, Shock. Yeah, pressure on Stroud has been the emphasis for weeks now from the coaching staff for this Georgia defensive group. Stroud's in the shotgun now. One back to his right. Stroud looks to the right, now looks back to the left, bounces, now throws, now directing traffic, throws off one leg towards the end zone, and caught going to the turf. Harrison touchdown. Marvin Harrison touchdown. Kind of improvisational score there as Stroud couldn't find an open man, and trying to cover Marvin Harrison for 10 seconds is a task that we couldn't handle.
Yeah, just way too much time. Dogs again brought linebacker pressure. Only had 3 down linemen with hands in the ground. Brought linebacker pressure as well. Unable, though, only ended up rushing 4. Unable to get to C.J. Stroud. He's able to slide to his right. And then just great presence by Harrison down the field. Breaks off of his route and comes back to Stroud. Easy pitch and catch for 6.
Point after try by Noah Ruggles. The North Carolina transfer is good. And Ohio State on the board first. 31-yard touchdown pass from Stroud to Harrison. And they lead it 7-0. Our first half presented by attorney Ken Nugent. Injured in a wreck. There's only one. One call, that's all. 1-800-CALL-KEN. Back to Atlanta after this. Bulldog Sports Network.
Every SEC team has great athletes, but the teams who have each other's back win the championships. This is Kenny Mullins for the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 613 in Atlanta. We're a group of over 5,000 electrical workers who have each other's back every day. We train together, work together, and look out for each other. If you're a construction worker, come work where people have your back. Visit IBEW613.org. Go Dogs!
Get ready for kickoff at the UGA Bookstore, featuring the best Bulldog gifts and apparel. Shop all the great brands at the UGA Bookstore like Nike, Tommy Bahama, Vineyard Vines, and Southern Tide. The UGA Bookstore is the exclusive home of the UGA 10 collection by Peter Millar. The UGA Bookstore in the heart of campus, next to the Tate Student Center. Shop online 24/7 at UGABookstore.com. The UGA Bookstore, it's where dogs shop.
Are you ready for the big party, game day, or any day of the week? American Deli has just the thing for everybody in the family. They've got Phillies, wings, burgers, fish and fried rice that will absolutely blow your mind. You can mix and match flavors that'll make your mouth water, made fresh to order each and every time. Order right now at AmericanDeli.com. American Deli. Deliciousness delivered.
Brock Bowers here, your tight end for Georgia. We are back, defending the title of national champions. We worked hard to get here. My team's success relies on building relationships and working together. This forms a circle of dedication and trust. When it comes to your financial fitness, wouldn't you want the same? That's why Associated Credit Union is my credit union of choice. To learn more about how ACU can circle you, go to acuonline.org/Brock. Associated Credit Union, where anyone in Georgia can live, bank, and grow.
Back inside the Piedmont Healthcare booth here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Ohio State takes the lead 7-0 on a four-play 71-yard drive. It took 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Stroud to Harrison for 31 yards on the scoring pass. And that is your Georgia Metals drive summary from a doghouse to a dog's house. Georgia Metals has got you covered. And with that score, Ohio State becomes only the fourth team this year to lead Georgia at any point in the game. The other three teams to lead the Dogs this year, Missouri, Tennessee, and Georgia Tech, and now add Ohio State to that list. Jaden Fielding will get ready to kick it off for the Buckeyes from right to left. And back deep to receive it is Kearis Jackson. He stands on the goal line on the near hash. Ohio State's kick team swings their arms, get into motion. Here's the kick. It'll sail well over the head of Jackson and over the back line of the end zone for the touchback. And our offense will go back to work. The Dogs missed a field goal of 47 yards on their first offensive possession. Moved the ball pretty well, drove down the field. Then Bennett on third down lost 3 yards on a scramble to the near side. We tried the field goal and missed it left. And then Ohio State took the ball and just went right down the field in 4 plays.
Yeah, Stetson Bennett in that first run, 4 out of 5, 48 yards. Throwing the football.
1st and 10, Dogs on the 25. Coming toward us here. They pitch it on the end around to the far side to Ladd McConkey, and Ohio State was all over that with Zach Harrison, the defensive lineman. He blew up McConkey, knocked him down back at the 18-yard line, a loss of 7.
Boy, Harrison unblocked there, just a free run up the field, absolutely nothing. He almost got to McConkey before he caught the little shovel pass.
Dogs 2nd and long now, 2nd and 17. We got Smith and Jackson to the near side. McIntosh in the backfield with Bennett. And one receiver to the far side, Mitchell. We run a man in motion to that side, run a screen to Kenny Mack. Catches the ball in the left flat. Eichenberg, the linebacker, going to grab McIntosh's ankle from behind and drag him to the turf at the 25. We get back to the original line of scrimmage, so we got the 7 back plus an inch or two. Now it's 3rd down and a very long 9 yards to go.
Yeah, got exactly what you wanted. We were 1 block away from having a really nice pickup, but able to get back at least to the line of scrimmage and getting to still 3rd and long, but at least something that you've got a number of plays you can dial up to go get it.
7-0. Ohio State leads here in the first quarter. 3rd down and about 10 coming up for Georgia. Bennett to throw. Deep ball to the near side. He's got Blaylock. He adjusts and makes the catch. With his back falling on the ground at the 45-yard line. Tremendous adjustment by Dominic Blaylock for the Scana Energy first down and a 20-yard pickup and a big first down on 3rd and 10.
Stetson had exactly what he wanted there. One-on-one on the outside. Great route by Blaylock, stemming inside. He gave Stetson the entire sideline to lay that football out on his back shoulder. Nice adjustment by Blaylock. Huge pickup there as the Dogs try to counterpunch.
Blaylock's 15th catch of the season. 1st and 10, Dogs on our 45-yard line. We're down 7-0. Handed off to Dejon Edwards, trying to get to the corner, chasing him with Steele Chambers, the linebacker. They stretch it to the far side, and then Denzel Burke, the cornerback, comes up to join in the fray, and they stop Edwards as he crosses the 45, and he got 2 to the 47. That was 2 yards the hard way for Dejon Edwards and the Bulldogs. It'll be 2nd down and 8 now for Georgia.
Ohio State continuing so far early in this football game to play a lot of zone. They've been selective when they've tried to tried to bring pressure outside of the third and short. A lot of single safety, 3 deep. They've mixed in some 2 deep zone coverages as well.
Bennett will go under center this time. We run Arian Smith in motion back and forth. Hand it off to Dejon Edwards. He breaks a tackle behind the line, 50, 45, 40. They pull his shoe off. He's down to the 35-yard line.
Boy, great balance there by Dejon Edwards. It looked like he was going to get hemmed up right at the line of scrimmage. Somehow able just to back his way into a crease and found a lot of green grass in which to run.
They pulled his shoe off, but he was able to stay on his feet for 10 more yards to the 35. Hamilton, or Burke rather, made the tackle. First down for Georgia, however, back to where they were on the previous drive at the Ohio State 35-yard line.
Nice block on that by Xavier Truss as well.
At 15 yards, maybe 16 on the carry. First and 10 Dogs, snap it back to Bennett. Hand it off to Milton. No, he fakes it. And Stetson rolls to the right. Will throw to Brock Bowers. He makes the catch, twists away from one man, then tries to power through another. They get him on the ground at the 18 on this near sideline. Cameron Brown, the cornerback. You better bring your lunch if you're going to get Brock Bowers on the ground.
Well, there's no doubt about it. Brock Bowers running through 2 Buckeyes. Just get off of me. But great ball fake by Stetson Bennett. Had all the flow of the Buckeye defense going with that fake. Brock running wide open on a crossing route across the middle.
That's a 17-yard chunk in the positive way for Georgia, and that puts the Dogs in the Massey Ferguson red zone. And Kendall Milton in the ball game at running back for the second straight play for Bennett. He's offset to the left. Bowers, the wing at the right side, next to Mims. Snap it back, play fake. Bennett, pressure from the edges. Stetson, pressure from the front, and he'll go down at the 35 or the 36-yard line. Second time they've been able to sack Bennett here early on. Back on the 25-yard line, excuse me, not the 35, but on the 25.
Yeah, credit the Buckeye secondary there for that sack. Linebacker pressure. Our back got caught up a little bit, but there was a huge push right into Stetson Bennett's face. I think blocked his vision to some extent, but coverage very good downfield. Nowhere for Stetson to go with the football.
That was Tui Moloau, his 4th and a half sack. He may have got credit for a half of one there, along with one of the linebackers who was in on it. He lost 7. Second down and 17. We'll throw it out in the left flat. It's caught at the 25 and down to the middle of the field and into the end zone. Touchdown! Kenny McIntosh. He caught it around the numbers, veered back inside the hash, and took it to the house.
Boy, just a slip screen. We went empty set. Slip screen. Great job by the Georgia offensive line getting downfield to the second level of that Buckeye defense. And then McIntosh just a foot race into the end zone. Had an alley.
Number 96
great block
is
by
now wearing number
Washington
44.
as well to help spur him on his way. Mims, another great block as well.
Also a key block by Jones on the linebacker Eichenberg that sprung it right after he caught it. 25 yards on the scoring play. And here's Pod for the point after to try to tie the game with 3:15 to go in the first quarter. Stetson Bennett, the holder, on the 11. They snap it back to him. Pod's kick is up and into the net. Good. We're tied at 7. 3:15 to go, first quarter in the Peach Bowl college football playoff semifinal. The winner gets TCU, who defeated Michigan in the Fiesta Bowl earlier today in Los Angeles on the championship night on January 9th. Our first half presented by attorney Ken Nugent. Injured? You know who to call. There's only one. One call, 1-800-CALL Ken. We're deadlocked at 7, first quarter here on the Bulldog Sports Network.
When you get the delicious Zaxby's chicken finger plate, one sauce is just never enough. But don't worry, because we have 12 dippable flavor pack sauces to go with every hand-breaded chicken finger we bite. Select one from our 12 sauce options. Endless sauce abilities, only at Zaxby's.
All of us love the Georgia Bulldogs. Hey, they're our team. At First Franklin Financial, we want to be your home team when you need extra cash. With over 120 locations in Georgia, we're fast, friendly, and right around the corner. Loan approvals are done right at the branch, so you can get your money right away, sometimes in the same day. Visit WeMakeLoans.com to find the First Franklin branch near you. All loan terms and APR depend on meeting our underwriting and income criteria and may require collateral. First Franklin Financial Corporation, NMLS number 141654. Georgia residence licensee number 5656. Offer not available in North Carolina.
Want more exclusives and behind-the-scenes Bulldogs content, more game highlights, mic'd ups, and original programming? Search for the Georgia Bulldogs All Access channel on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Georgia Bulldogs All Access, your official inside connection to Georgia football and all Georgia Bulldogs sports.
This is the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Who says cats and dogs don't get along? Bobcat of Atlanta is a proud sponsor of the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network. With a full lineup of Bobcat equipment, we're here to partner with you for all your compact equipment needs. This fall, we're expanding to better serve you with 2 new locations in Peachtree City and Carrollton. Visit our team today at one of our locations in Norcross, Marietta, Riverdale, Gainesville, Covington, or on the web at bobcatofatlanta.com. Go Dogs!
Georgia is our home. That's why at Georgia Power, we're building the future of energy. Over the last decade, we've invested nearly $10 billion to strengthen the electric grid, installing new substations, upgrading transformers, moving power lines underground, and investing in cleaner energy. We're making the electric grid more resilient and reliable for you and for future generations. At Georgia Power, we know that making smart investments today prepares us to meet our customers' needs tomorrow.
Along with Eric Zier, Scott Howard back in the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth. DJ Shockley down on the field for the Ken Nugent sideline report. One call, that's all. Shock.
Hey, fellas, one quick thing from that last drive. The big 3rd and 10 call, that was a check by Stetson Bennett. Everybody talks about what he does in game. That was a big-time check. He saw the press man coverage and called the play to Don Blaylock. So Stetson's dialed in mentally in this game as well as physically throwing it.
Heads-up play that kept the drive alive for Georgia. The drive was 8 plays, 75 yards, and 501. 25-yard TD pass from Bennett to Kenny McIntosh. That's your Georgia Metals drive summary. From a doghouse to a dog's house, Georgia Metals has got you covered. Here's the kick by Pod. It will sail into the end zone, bounce 5 yards deep, and roll over the back line for the touchback. And Ohio State will have it on offense again at their 25-yard line.
And Shock mentions being locked in both mentally and then in the game. 9 out of 10 in the first couple of drives, 110 yards and a touchdown.
Another timeout on the field right now. We'll keep it here. Still 3:15 on the clock, first quarter. We're tied at 7. Let's recap this first quarter, presented by Ag South, Ag Georgia, and Southwest Georgia Farm Credit. Loans for land and farm. Georgia, total yardage in quarter number 1. We might be in for a high-scoring affair if this keeps up. 120 yards of offense for the Dogs already in quarter number 1. 75 for Ohio State. The Buckeyes have not been able to run. -4 in the first quarter on the ground, but 79 yards passing. Georgia hasn't been able to run very much either. They have after they've caught the ball, but only 10 yards from the line of scrimmage on the ground for the Dogs. 110 through the air. The Dogs with 6 first downs so far. Ohio State with 4. Stetson Bennett 9 of 10. He's off to a hot start, and as Shock pointed out, they're very tuned into the game and what Ohio State's defense is doing right now. 9 of 10 for 110 yards and a touchdown pass. Stroud 4 of 5 for 79 yards and a touchdown pass. The leading rusher in the game is Dejon Edwards, 2 carries for 20 yards, but Bennett's been sacked a couple of times for a loss of 10, and that comes off the rushing yardage. That's why the Bulldogs only have 10 yards on the ground. What are your impressions so far, Z, after both teams have had the ball a couple of times? What do you see?
Well, both teams ready to play. Both teams very fast, very physical. Good game plans, I think, by both groups. One thing with the Dogs on defense on the first series, we brought linebacker pressure, so bringing at least 5 guys, 3 out of the 4 snaps on that first drive. Second drive, backed off on the touchdown pass, only rushed 4. We had 3 down linemen that rushed, so we're showing a drop 8 kind of a look. Brought 1 linebacker, but still only bringing 4. And just if you don't have pressure on C.J. Stroud, he is good enough to pick you apart, and he's got receivers that can find space really against anybody. So really imperative for the Dogs defensively to find different ways and different looks to get Stroud under pressure, make him throw the football early, get him off time, because if he can sit back there, he can chew you up. And the Dogs offensively finding a lot of gaps. Ohio State against Michigan, a lot of cover 0, a lot of man-to-man cover 1. This game not doing that after all the busts they had in coverage against Michigan. coming back here playing very vanilla, very soft, and Dogs right now picking them apart.
Stroud's touchdown throw was his 38th of the year, by the way. Bennett's touchdown pass moments ago, his 21st of the season. And here we go now. 3:15 to play, first quarter, tied at 7. Ohio State with the ball on their own 25-yard line. They'll toss it to the left side and run it to the 30. Hit at the 32. Spinning is Xavier Johnson. His helmet flies off after contact.
In the next down.
Christopher Smith brought the whooping stick on that one, but Johnson up to the 32 for a gain of 7. His helmet comes off, so he'll have to exit the ball game for at least one play.
Xavier Johnson not really used much at the running back position coming into this football game, but Ohio State has really been banged up, struggling to find that backup, that next guy up in the running back position, so giving Johnson a shot out of here.
Now that's his 7th carry of the season. Second down and 3 for Ohio State from their 32. They work on the near hash, moving left. Stretch handoff straight ahead to Mayan Williams, the junior from Cincinnati. He dances to the line of scrimmage and will be jammed up at the 34-yard line. Tramel Walthour, our lineman, and Robert Beal, the linebacker, on the tackle for the Bulldogs, shy of the 35-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and 1 for the Buckeyes.
Dogs brought zone blitz pressure on the initial 3rd down. Got a sack on C.J. Stroud. 3rd and 1 here. Probably not going to see that look.
Does Georgia want a timeout? Was that what I was seeing on the far side? No indication now. It looked like Kirby was trying to get a timeout, but they'll play on here. And they run it with Williams, and he had a big gap at left tackle and left guard. And he hits the hole nicely and grinds his way up to the 38-yard line. Smile Munden, the linebacker, with the collision and the stop for Georgia, but ball at the 38, a gain of 4 and a first down for the Buckeyes.
Boy, run blitz there by the Dogs. We just came into the wrong gap.
Dogs defense looking left to the Georgia sideline. On the far side of the field, we've got Carter and Walthour and Stackhouse as our defensive lineman Beals up on the near edge, too, as a linebacker with his hand in the turf. Snap it back to Stroud, fake the end around to Ibuka. Now he'll throw it to Ibuka in the right flat. A high throw, reaching and catching at the 34, and then bumped out of bounds by Keely Ringo on the far sideline at the 40-yard line.
Great downfield coverage there by the Dogs secondary. Nowhere for Stroud to go. Good patience to get it out to Ibuka. And then Ringo comes up. Nice short tackle. That's another one of the keys to the game. When you're in space, you've got to make tackles and limit yards after the catch.
Only 2 yards on that play. Play fake Stroud. He'll roll bootleg to the near side, dump it ahead to his tight end Stover. And then Stover is upended at the 35 by Chris Smith. No, it's the 45, and actually they'll spot it down around the 46, maybe even the 47-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down, about a yard to go again. He got 6. No, closer to 7 yards on the play. 3rd down and a yard to go. Ball's almost to the 47 of Ohio State. Buckeyes nearing midfield. 2 receivers to each side, one back in the backfield for Stroud. Leg pump, snap it back. Quick throw over the middle, reaching catch is made by Ibuka on a slant, but there's a flag down at the line of scrimmage. Ohio State may have had a false start.
Yeah, I think that one's coming back.
Defense number 78. Oh. The penalties decline. The result of the play is a first down.
Boy, tell you what, Ohio State had somebody on the offensive line flinch. That's what caused the movement for Georgia. I'm surprised that one was against us.
Tyke Smith made the stop on Emeka Ibuka on his crossing route from the right. But Ohio State, as you heard our referee Chris Coit say, pass is complete up to the Georgia 40-yard line, and that's the last play of the first quarter. So Ohio State moving into Georgia territory again. They got it on the Dogs 40 when we come back. It's Georgia 7, Ohio State 7. First quarter in the books here in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. Our first half presented by attorney Ken Nugent. Injured in a wreck? There's only one. One call, that's all. 1-800-CALL-KEN. Second quarter straight ahead here on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
With the Kroger Plus card, it's easy to get lower than low prices for the win. And for every dollar you spend, you earn fuel points, which can add up to $1 per gallon off at the pump for the win. Plus, save every day on groceries and get personalized digital coupons for the win. The Kroger Plus card. All you do is win. Big, big savings. Sign up now at Kroger.com and start saving. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply.
Nothing kicks off your game better than a handful of Georgia peanuts. Power packed with protein, essential nutrients, and great taste. Georgia peanuts are the MVP for affordability, sustainability, and nutrition. To score life's touchdowns with recipes and fun facts, check out GAPeanuts.com. The perfectly powerful peanut is brought to you by the family farmers of the Georgia Peanut Commission.
Peanuts! Get your peanuts!
This is the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
'Twas right before the holidays, and down BMW Road, not a driver was stressed, only good vibes flowed. Could it be because one sat in his BMW's plush leather seats, or drove hundreds of miles without a slip in the sleet? Another drove far and yet was not stressed, since she was cruising with intelligent GPS.
I've started guidance.
This holiday season, take on the ultimate drive when you buy a BMW 5 Series X7 or X5.
Proud sponsor of Georgia Athletics. Visit BMWATL.com today. Go Dogs!
Hey, you're the guy with Kevin the fire-breathing goat.
Yep.
I'm playing Keno right now. Like you say, you pick 10 numbers, Keno picks 20. The more you match, the more you win.
Looks like your numbers are matching.
No way! Well, that was easy.
And there's another game in about 3 minutes.
Hey, little goat, you want to help me fill out my play slip for the next one?
No paper. That's why he plays on his phone.
Win up to $100,000 every 3.5 minutes. Playing Keno. Play responsibly.
Ready for quarter number 2 as we rejoin you back inside the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Let's pause 10 seconds. Station identification on the Bulldogs Sports Network. Ohio State driving with the football at the Georgia 40-yard line right now. They've got a 1st and 10 coming up. We're almost deadlocked on the yardage totals. Ohio State after one quarter with 110 total yards. Georgia with 120. And both teams doing most of their damage through the air. Georgia with 110 passing. Ohio State with 101. Neither team really able to get much going on the ground just yet. Dogs with 10 yards rushing. And Ohio State with 9. TCU awaits the winner of tonight's ball game. They defeated Michigan in a thriller in the Fiesta Bowl earlier today. And TCU going to the national championship January 9th in Los Angeles, as will the winner of this one. Ohio State up to the line of scrimmage. They'll come to our right now with the football. Stroud, a fake handoff and a roll out to the right. He hits Harrison on the far side of the field. Harrison running laterally, stiff arms a man. Ball comes out on the sideline. Georgia jumps on it. I don't know if we recovered it in bounds or not, though.
No, I think that ball rolled out of bounds.
At the 9-yard line. Now they're going to spot it back up at the 16.
And went out of bounds before being recovered.
They're going to spot it
to the fumble spot where it'll be 1st and 10.
And that's the referee, Chris Coit. And so they spot the ball at the 16-yard line. Keely Ringo punched the ball out on this near sideline. Starks was one of the guys trying to jump on it and keep it in bounds for Georgia, but it was right on the sideline, and he was unable to do so. But Ohio State with a big gain down to the 16-yard line now. Harrison caught it on the left side of the field and ran clear across to the right side of the field before he lost possession of the football.
Boy, another half rollout by Stroud, then going back across the field away from his rollout to Harrison.
Stroud will hand it off. Hayden, the running back, trying to bounce out, looking for room to the near side, and he will wiggle his way close to the 12, maybe the 11, before we stack him up on the sideline by Smile Munden. They spotted at the 12. So he got 4 running laterally for the most part. 2nd down and 6 for the Buckeyes. We're tied at 7, but they're in the red zone on the Georgia 11-yard line. Near hash, moving right. Stroud now looks back to the Ohio State sideline. as the play clock ticks under 20 seconds. Dog fans trying to make some noise in this part of the stadium. We've got 5 guys up on the line of scrimmage, linebackers on the edges. Michael Williams and Carter. And one other lineman, Stroud, will keep it, and he'll pay for it. We hit him back at the 12-yard line. Chaz Chambliss and Michael Williams both converged to hit Stroud back at the 12, right on the line of scrimmage, I guess. So it's not a loss, but he barely got back to the line of scrimmage, tried to run it to the right side. It's going to be 3rd down and 6 for the Buckeyes on the Dogs' 12.
Zone read there by Ohio State. Great discipline by Chambliss to stay at home, play his position, play his rules. Nowhere for Stroud to go with that football.
Buckeyes put 3 out to the left, 1 to the right. 1 back in the backfield. Stroud in the shotgun, snap it back on the hash, bounces, throws for the end zone, overthrow, flag comes in after the incomplete pass. Ibuka was the target. Might be pass interference or a hold on Georgia. That's what we're expecting anyway.
Pass interference. Defense number 22. Ball retraced at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
Call that on Bullard. And now, since it was in the end zone, Buckeyes are going to have it goal to go on the 2.
Boy, that's a ticky-tack call. I think that ball is uncatchable anyway. That thing was thrown 4 feet over the back line of the end zone.
Pac-12 officiating crew. That's why I was asking earlier. I mean, this group doesn't necessarily see these two teams play football. I mean, the rules are the rules, but I don't know. Different observations of the rules sometimes in games like this.
No doubt about that.
Dogs run on substitutes late. Goal to go for Ohio State on the Georgia 2. Stroud goes to the wide side left and will throw on the run for Marvin Harrison. He reaches, extends, can't get it on the side of the end zone. Incomplete. Boy.
Dogs a little out of sync there. Late substitutions getting onto the field. Just got set and that ball was snapped.
Keely Ringo in coverage on that side of the field with Marvin Harrison. 2nd down and goal now for the Buckeyes. The ball's on the near hash for Ohio State. So the short side is the near side. Buckeyes taking their time. They showed a lot of tempo in the game against Michigan. They haven't really shown that a whole lot here as we play in the 2nd quarter with 12:36 to go in a 7-7 contest. Now it looks like Ohio State may call a time. And they will. Ryan Day will call a timeout. And we will too. 12:36 to go, 2nd quarter. Ohio State on the Georgia 2 when we come back. A first half presented by attorney Ken Nugent. Injured in a wreck, there's only one call, that's all. 1-800-CALL-KEN. Georgia 7, Ohio State 7 on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
Piedmont is passionate about Georgia, about each and every person that make this state incredible. From farmers to creators, manufacturers to teachers, to the dedicated staff walking our hallways. It's why we're leading real change in healthcare, to empower you through tools that make it easy to book in minutes, check in before you walk in, and have your health information all in one place. Visit Piedmont.org. Piedmont, real change lives here.
Let's get ready for game day, Dog Nation. Tee things up with a smooth, refreshing taste of Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Whether you're tailgating at Sanford Stadium or hosting friends at home, keep that cooler filled with Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. With a 5% kick of alcohol, Twisted Tea is easy to drink and tastes like real iced tea because it's made with real brewed tea. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted, Dog Nation.
Twisted Tea brewed from Cincinnati, Ohio. Alcohol for 21 years and older. Please drink responsibly.
This is your home of the Dogs. You're listening to the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Piedmont Bank is a proud partner of the UGA Athletic Association. When you need a business banking ally who is as invested in your goals as you are, you can depend on us. We are committed to supporting members of the local community by providing the tools they need to achieve financial success. Through our partnership with the UGA Athletic Association, we believe in a Georgia where we all succeed. Piedmont Bank, knowing you better, serving you best. Learn more at Piedmont.bank. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Brock Bowers here, your tight end for Georgia. We are back, defending the title of national champions. We worked hard to get here. My team's success relies on building relationships and working together. This forms a circle of dedication and trust. When it comes to your financial fitness, wouldn't you want the same? That's why Associated Credit Union is my credit union of choice. To learn more about how ACU can circle you, go to acuonline.org/Brock. Associated Credit Union, where anyone in Georgia can live, bank, and grow.
Back inside the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth. Georgia and Ohio State tied at 7, but the Buckeyes trying to do something about that. They are on the Georgia 2-yard line here in the second quarter. 12:36 remaining. An interference penalty in the end zone a few moments ago, and Javon Bullard put the Buckeyes on the Georgia 2. And they're looking at second down and goal when play comes back in. Ohio State huddles up. Carter and Stackhouse and Zion Logue right in the middle of our defensive front. We jam the line with 7 guys. I formation for the Buckeyes. Handed to the tailback, Williams. He plows at left tackle to the goal line and gets across. Touchdown. We hit him initially, but he kept the drive going, had a blocker in front of him, and they were able to break the plane of the end zone for the score.
Boy, it looked like we had stuffed that right at the line of scrimmage, but just a great drive, the continued push to get into the end zone.
Chambliss hit him first. Dumas Johnson had a piece of him. Walthauer was trying to get him from the outside, but Williams was low and got across the goal line for the touchdown, and Ohio State regains the lead. Here's the point after try that's up and good by Noah Ruggles. And the Buckeyes now lead it 14-7. 11-play drive, 75 yards. Well, Georgia's defense not slowing down the impressive Ohio State offense here in the first half. 11 plays, 75 yards. That one took 5:45 on the clock. And the end result was a Williams 2-yard touchdown run. That's the Georgia Metals drive summary from a doghouse to a dog's house. Georgia Metals has got you covered.
And Williams is a load, only 5'9", but 225 pounds. So when you hit him, you better bring it.
We were trying to bring it. We hit him with like 3 or 4 guys, but he had leverage,
number 26.
and he had the advantage there on the inside and was able to drive across the goal line for a tight score. 14-7. Buckeyes will kick it away. Kieris Jackson on the goal line to receive it. That's about where our broadcast position is, right on the goal line on the right end of the stadium. High hanging end over end kick will land 4 yards deep in the end zone. And that was going to be a touchback.
Now, we talked about the importance for the Dogs to counterpunch, especially early in this football game. We were able to do it after the first Ohio State touchdown. Need to come back and find another answer right now. You want to keep this game within reach as we're going through. You know Ohio State's going to put points up, but Dogs can move it at will as well.
Georgia with a 2 tight end formation, and Ladd McConkey to the right. McIntosh in the backfield. Bennett will go under center. McConkey goes back in motion to the right. Play fake by Bennett. Sets up the throw up high in the pocket. Throws an interception. Picked off at the 45 by Ohio State. Chambers to the 35, to the 30, and tackled there by Bowers, who made the stop. Ohio State has picked it off deep in Georgia territory.
Boy, just a poor decision right there by Stetson Bennett. It was a little play action, and Stetson was rolling out to his right. Had quick pressure and had to step up. I don't think he ever saw the Ohio State defender.
7th interception thrown by Stetson this season. And Ohio State back in position now on the Georgia 30-yard line. That's Steele Chambers, the linebacker from Roswell, Georgia. That's his 2nd pick of the year.
Yes.
14-7. Ohio State trying to add to it now after a quick exchange.
Well, watch for Ohio State to take a shot right now on the quick exchange. Dogs, everything they can do here to hold Ohio State to 3.
Stroud back, pressure up the middle by Carter. Stroud avoids it. Fires to the near sideline, complete to Julian Fleming, who comes back to the ball. Catches it in his breadbasket at the 17, right on the near sideline. Keely Ringo there in coverage. Steps out of bounds there at the 17, but a gain of 13. And a first down for the Buckeyes as they are right back in the red zone.
Good pressure there by Jalen Carter, just unable to make the tackle. As Stroud again, excellent, just at sliding his feet, finding space in the pocket, then delivered a strike.
Stroud 9 of 11 so far tonight, 138 yards passing. Buckeyes will run it with Dallin Hayden, the freshman, straight ahead and not much there. Carter makes the stop. Jalen wraps him up after about a 1-yard gain to the 16 maybe. Yep, that's where they put it down. Ohio State trying to cash in after a interception thrown by Stetson Bennett. We bring in Warren Brinson to our defensive line. Carter goes out as well as Dumas Johnson. And we've got Munden and Tresman Marshall in at linebackers now. C.J. Stroud in the shotgun. They bring a man in motion to the near side. That's Ibuka. Stroud with time, pressure up the middle now. We grab at him, pull on his jersey. He avoids it, throws it into the end zone, and touchdown. Boy, Marvin Harrison again. Same thing as last time. He just ran till he got open, and he cradles the ball down below his waist on this near edge of the end zone. And Ohio State has taken the largest lead of the season on Georgia now. It's 20-7.
Yeah, and again, great job there by Stroud. We had pressure all over him. That's the good news. Just got to find a way to get him on the ground. He's able to elude a couple of tacklers. And then Harrison just so good with his scramble drills, finding space, and then Stroud delivering another strike to him.
Ringo unable to keep up with Harrison on that scramble that time. Ruggles for the point after try. Kick is up, and it is good. 21-7. Ohio State leads Georgia. 10:56 to go. 2nd quarter. Peach Bowl. College football playoff national semifinal. The winner to get TCU in Los Angeles on January 9th. Our first half is presented by attorney Ken Nugent. Injured? You know who to call. There's only one. One call. 1-800-CALL-KEN. Back after this. Bulldog Sports Network.
Georgia fans, college football is back, so grab your friends in a cold, refreshing Dos Equis lager and make the most of game day. Dos Equis is the one to score for your tailgate, at the bar, or even watching with your friend who went to that other school. So buy a cold, crisp Dos Equis and go Dogs. Dos Equis, proud partner of Georgia Athletics. Get a dose. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly.
Copyright 2022, imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
After you're done cheering the Dogs to a win, get ready to celebrate at Lake Oconee. Only 85 miles from Atlanta, this lakeside destination has game-changing views and luxury accommodations at the Ritz-Carlton Reynolds Lake Oconee. So, what are you waiting for? Go long for a getaway to Lake Oconee at visitlakeoconee.com today.
Yes, that's me, Kirby Smart, driving around town in a Ford F-150 pickup. Its comfortable, roomy interior and great tech are why it's my trusted daily driver. F-150 has the power to tackle the biggest jobs, but I depend on it to secure my most important cargo, my family. See your local Ford dealer and check out Ford F-150, the official truck of the Georgia Bulldogs.
Not all models, trims, and features may be available. Contact your dealer for more information.
Go Dogs!
365 days a year, just call us up, we'll be right there. Our service is guaranteed. At Shoemate, we take great care. Our experts are always there for you and your family's needs. When your family just can't wait. You can always count on Shimmy.
Back inside the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. 21-7 now. Ohio State leads. They turned that Stetson Bennett interception into a touchdown. 3 plays, 30 yards, a 16-yard touchdown pass from Stroud to Marvin Harrison, their second hookup in this game. That's your Georgia Metals drive summary. From a doghouse to a dog's house, Georgia Metals has got you covered. And now Georgia trails by 14. That's their largest deficit this season, and the most points the Dogs have surrendered in a first half this year, 21. Fielding to kick it away for Ohio State. And Kearis Jackson back about 2 yards deep in the end zone. He may try to run this one out, where he usually stands right on the goal line. Fielding with the ball on the far hash, kicking it to our right. We'll nail this one high and hanging, and it will land about 6 or 7 yards deep, so Kearis will not run that one out of the end zone. And the Dogs have it on the 25, 1st and 10 after the touchback.
Well, one of the keys of the game was win the turnover battle, and still a long way to go in this football game, but you give this Ohio State offense additional possessions, you're going to pay for it. It's just this offense is too potent. You've got to find ways when they get into the red zone that you limit them to field goals. We haven't been able to do any of those things yet. Still a lot of time, but Dogs critically need to answer on this drive.
We did force one fumble, but we couldn't get on it in time before the ball went out of bounds. Here's Dejon Edwards to the 30, 35, far sideline 40. Breaks a tackle at the 45. Good hard run by Dejon Edwards. Scana Energy first down. He kind of ran over Denzel Burke, who got enough of him to get Edwards to the turf after a 26-yard run to the 46.
Boy, just a zone run right there. Great job and great vision by Dejon Edwards. Big block by Amarius Mims to break open the hole.
1st and 10 Dogs near midfield at our 46. Ball's on the far hash. We're moving away from us now to our left. Bennett will walk up and talk to his offensive lineman. Edwards stays in the backfield. One receiver to the right, 2 to the left. Bennett takes the snap in the shotgun. Pressure up the gut. Forces him out to the near side. He's waving downfield. Going to throw it short range. Missed his target at the 32-yard line. He was across the line of scrimmage 2, I believe, and there's a flag down at the 46. Stetson may have crossed the line of scrimmage when he threw that ball.
Boy, and he had room to run as well. He could have gone up and picked up 4 or 5 more yards.
Our referee is Chris Coit from the Pac-12.
Illegal forward pass made beyond the line of scrimmage. Offense number 13. 5-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Lost it down. It's second down.
So that'll back the Dogs up. Only 5 yards, but we lose the down on the play. That's the more significant thing in that particular penalty. Georgia will have it at the 42-yard line now.
Well, we've seen Stetson hurt people with his legs so often this year. Just surprising. He ended up throwing that football.
2 receivers right, none to the left for Georgia. We've got the tight end Bowers at a wing to the left. Also Oscar Delp, a tight end to the left. Now Bowers in motion back and forth. And Milton in the backfield with Bennett. Stetson takes it out of the shotgun. Deep ball down the middle. He's got a man breaking open, and it is caught. 14-yard line, Arian Smith. They tackle him where? Around the 10 or the 11. Deep ball. Eichenberg, the linebacker, had to make the stop. Arian Smith got open, was waiting, and Bennett let it fly.
Boy, great patience there by Bennett. Good job moving in the pocket. Just a post against cover 2. He had the matchup that he wanted. Stetson that time on target.
47 yards on the pass play down to the 11-yard line. 1st and 10. The Dogs are in the red zone, the Massey Ferguson red zone at the Ohio State 11. They break the huddle. Handoff. Kendall Milton steps over a man, angles to the right, to the 5, to the 4, to the 3. They try to push him in the end zone. They do. Touchdown.
Huge answer right there by the Dogs. Great strong run by Kendall Milton. We just collapsed the left side of that Ohio State defensive line, able to get outside and contain, and then the strength of Milton to go punch it in. Dogs hanging in.
Well, there's an answer for you. 75-yard drive by the Bulldogs in 4 plays in a minute 40. 11-yard touchdown run, Kendall Milton. That's the Georgia Metals drive summary. Doghouse to a dog's house. Georgia Metals has got you covered. Jack Podlesny waits to kick the extra point.
And they're holding play right now, I think, taking a look at the replay to see if his knee was down. We just took a look at the replay. I don't think
the ruling of a touchdown is under further review.
Well, they'll take a look at it now. And the play is under review, brought to you by Pruitt Health, where family makes us stronger, proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs. You said Washington was injured on that play? Earlier, okay. The Big O shaken up during that drive.
He's back in the locker room right now. He was limping pretty badly, but going under or going back into the locker room on his own, so didn't require any help, but was limping pretty noticeably.
Now they're going to review the play. We're getting a look at the replay here, and let's see what we think about it. Not that it matters, but we can tell you what we think. What do you see, Z, on this goal line camera angle?
I think it's a touchdown. It's going to be hard to reverse that just with, at least with that view that we just saw. It looked like the ball did cross before a knee or elbow hit the ground.
Yeah, as we're looking at that, the elbow.
The ruling on the field stands his call. Touchdown.
Thank you. Milton gets the touchdown on the 11-yard run. That is Kendall's 7th rushing touchdown this season. And the Dogs draw a little bit closer. That was a nice way to answer after the Ohio State touchdown, by the way. 21-13 our score as we wait on the extra point try by Jack Podlesny. Pod waiting to kick it towards the Atlanta skyline down to our left. There's the snap, the placement, the kick is up and right between the wickets. Good. So it's 21-14 now with 9:16 still to play here in the first half. Our first half is presented by attorney Ken Nugent. Injured in a wreck? There's only one call. That's all. 1-800-CALL-KEN. Buckeyes 21, Bulldogs 14 on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
With the Kroger Plus card, it's easy to get lower than low prices for the win. And for every $1 you spend, you earn fuel points, which can add up to $1 per gallon off at the pump for the win. Plus, save every day on groceries and get personalized digital coupons for the win. The Kroger Plus card, all you do is win. Big, big savings. Sign up now at Kroger.com and start saving. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply.
Georgia is our home. That's why at Georgia Power, we're building the future of energy. Over the last decade, we've invested nearly $10 billion to strengthen the electric grid, installing new substations, upgrading transformers, moving power lines underground, and investing in cleaner energy. We're making the electric grid more resilient and reliable for you and for future generations. At Georgia Power, we know that making smart investments today prepares us to meet our customers' needs tomorrow.
Don't go anywhere. The Dogs are coming right back. You're listening to the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
With college sports playoffs, we often hear the expression, survive in advance, survive in advance. Breda Pest Management knows who else follows that policy. Roaches, rodents, termites. Come the winter, non-hibernating pests look for warm places to survive, like your house. Neil Hondo Williamson for Breda. Keep your home safe from roaches, rodents, and termites this winter with Breda, like I do. BREDAPest.com.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
Hello, I'm Neil Pruitt, Chairman and CEO of Pruitt Health. We believe family makes us stronger. Pruitt Health has served families and communities throughout the Southeast for more than 50 years. If you're looking for skilled nursing, home health, or hospice care, count on our caregivers to provide the personalized plan your loved one needs. Learn more. Visit PruittHealth.com. Pruitt Health is a proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs.
Bulldog Sports Network crew with you here inside the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth. And let's go down to our crew member on the sideline, DJ Shockley. He's got this report brought to you by Ken Nugent. One call, that's all. Shock.
I got two things. First, Darnell Washington has a left ankle. He is out for now. And the message from the defensive side came off last series was in the secondary, we're getting our eyes too much in the backfield instead of just plastering to our guys. So that's a big deal as C.J. Stroud gets outside the pocket.
All right, Shock, good stuff. Thank you. Let's hope Washington can recover and return to this ball game. We certainly need him. Here's the kick by Pod. Will land over the head of Xavier Johnson, who stands on the goal line for the kick return. Ball lands in the end zone. Ohio State will take the touchback and possession at the 25-yard line. They lead Georgia 21-14. 9:16 to go here in quarter number 2 in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. Dog defense trying to get. Well, it's hard to tell which half of the stadium is red and black. It's all red in here tonight. So everybody's just standing up cheering.
C.J. Stroud, 10 out of 12, 154 yards, 2 touchdown passes here in the first half. Ohio State, 170 total yards against the Dogs' defense.
Buckeyes start this possession on their 25, 1st and 10. Stroud will stretch and hand it off on an end around to Ibuka. And he comes to the near side from the 25. He may have gotten 2 or 3 piled up by Smile Munden, leading a charge of red shirts for the Georgia defense. And Chambliss also positioning to force Ibuka to take a different route.
Yeah, another great job there by Chambliss of staying home and forcing that play inside to where all of the help was coming from. A couple of really smart, disciplined plays by 32.
Now they have Chip Trainum in the backfield. And Stroud will throw it over the middle to Harrison. Ball came out after he had it. They're going to rule it incomplete, I believe, as Ringo was tackling him. And Harrison, I don't know if that was a drop or a strip by Ringo. Harrison doesn't have too many drops. In fact, his only drop of the season came in the Michigan game about 4 weeks ago.
All right, that was drop number 2. Because that one hit him in his hands. Keeley in good position, but got there just a little bit late.
3rd down and 7 for the Buckeyes. 2 out of 3 so far in the game tonight for Ohio State on 3rd down. From just beyond their 27-yard line. Snap it back to Stroud. Pressure from the edges. We'll get him! Back on the 16-yard line. Mykel Williams, the freshman from Columbus, just collapsed Stroud, going from his top and his shoulder down, and just forced him to the turf back at the 18.5.
Well, collapsed Stroud at the end. Collapsed Paris Johnson, the big 6'6", 310 tackle for Ohio State first. What an effort there by Williams.
4th down and 17. Punt team on for Ohio State. And the return man is Kearis Jackson for the Bulldogs. He stands between the hash marks on the Georgia 35 to receive the kick. Ohio State will snap it back. Mirko will move to his right and kick it on the run. Fair catch called for by Jackson. He catches it off his right shoulder, makes the grab around the 39-yard line of Georgia, and the Dogs will have the ball right there when we come back after another timeout with 7:41 to go. In quarter number 2, it's Ohio State 21 and Georgia 14. That Buckeye punt was 44 yards, and the fair catch gives the Bulldogs the ball at our 38. Our first half is presented by attorney Ken Nugent. Over $1.5 billion recovered. Now there's a number. And remember, there's only one. One call, 1-800-CALL-KEN. 21-14, Buckeyes over the Bulldogs here in the second quarter. Back after this, Bulldog Sports Network.
It takes hard work to be the best in the game. Planning, commitment, resilience, sweat. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in theirs. Old Dominion Freight Line, official freight carrier of Georgia Athletics, helping the world keep promises.
They're not just the Bulldogs. They're your Bulldogs. Customize your Wells Fargo debit card or open an account today and show your Bulldog pride with every purchase. Get started at wellsfargo.com/customize. Wells Fargo is proud to be an official sponsor of the Georgia Bulldogs. Copyright 2022. Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Dogs are heard right here. This is the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
'Twas right before the holidays and down BMW Road, not a driver was stressed, only good vibes flowed. Could it be because one sat in his BMW's plush leather seats or drove hundreds of miles without a slip in the sleet? Another drove far and yet was not stressed since she was cruising with intelligent GPS.
I've started guidance.
This holiday season, take on the ultimate drive when you buy a BMW 5 Series X7 or X5.
Proud sponsor of Georgia Athletics. Visit BMWATL.com today. Go Dogs!
2022 is the year of the dog. This is Kenny Mullins for the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 613. We're the finest electricians in the world, and we take special pride in the Dogs Championship because we build the things that make Georgia Bulldogs the greatest fan experience in sports. From lights in Sanford Stadium to the lights that illuminate that beautiful national championship trophy. Join us at IBEW613.org.
Dogs ball on our 38-yard line. Chance to go down and tie if we can get in the end zone on this possession. 21-14, Ohio State leads Georgia. 7:41 to go, second quarter. Bennett's under center this time. Two receivers wide to the right. Ball's on the near hash as the Dogs move left. Fake the jet sweep to Bowers, hand it off to McIntosh. He's got a big hole, 40, 30, makes a man miss at the 30, 20. Oh, he stumbled at the 10, he had a touchdown. The turf monster got him at the 10, oh my goodness.
Boy, how does that happen? I mean, he was just a huge hole. We ran Brock Bowers in motion. That pulled the linebacker out. There was a gaping hole for Kendall Milton to go through. And you're right, nobody was around him. He took a look to see if anybody was chasing him, and he tripped himself up.
Shame on you, evil turf. Oh, my goodness, down to the 10. But that run gets the Dogs in the Massey Ferguson red zone. McIntosh with a 52-yard run down to the 9-yard line or so. Goal to go for the Dogs. Edwards gets the ball this time, running it to the near side, the short side of the field. Plows ahead inside the 5, down to the 4, maybe the 3. Right on the sideline, they make the tackle with Eichenberg, the linebacker, and Ransom, one of the safeties.
Little tall sweep into the boundary. Nice block by Brock Bowers. Also had Broderick Jones out leading the way as well.
Ball's on the 3. McIntosh back in now. He'll line up as a wideout to the left. Delp's in the slot to the left. Bennett's got 3 receivers to the right. They go empty. Van Pran, the center. Man in motion, goes behind Bennett. He's going to take this ball and run it into the corner of the end zone. Touchdown! He just ran it to the short side, leaps across right in front of the pylon, and we're a point away from being tied.
Boy, great play design right there. Go empty. You have your running back, I believe it was McIntosh in the game. He motions away back into the field, and then you just run a quarterback sweep.
Number 96 is now
into the boundary. Stetson able to waltz right inside the pylon, and Dogs,
number 44.
pending this extra point, able to get right back into this football game.
For Stetson Bennett, rushing touchdown number 8 for the Heisman finalist. Pod will try to tie it up. with the point after, with 6:07 to go in the quarter. Snap, hold, kick, in the air. Good. 21-21 now. Brand new ball game with 6:07 to go. The drive was 3 plays, 62 yards, and it took 94 seconds. Stetson got it in the end zone on a 3-yard run. That's your Georgia Metals drive summary. From a doghouse to a dog's house, Georgia Metals has got you covered. Georgia's starting to grind out some yardage on the ground, Z. 104 yards rushing for Georgia now. We're averaging over 11 yards per carry. Ohio State's only got 10 yards rushing, less than a yard per carry thus far.
Yeah, and important there for the Dogs to be able to stay balanced throughout this football game. Total yardage for both teams right now. Dogs 261 total yards. As you mentioned, over 100 now on the ground. 104. Stetson 157 through the air. You look at Ohio State, 164 on the day, 10 yards rushing, 154 throwing the football. A couple of big sacks, taking away a little bit of yardage there for the Buckeyes on the ground.
Pod to kick it away from right to left. This one high and going to come down short. Ohio State will come up and field it at the 12. They'll return this one up across the 25 on the near hash, hit around the 27-yard line by Jackson Meeks and Darius Smith for the Bulldogs special teams unit. Let's take a look now at the Meriwether and Tharp scoreboard. Meriwether and Tharp, the Atlanta Divorce team. Bowl action today. Alabama was a winner over Kansas State in the Sugar Bowl, 45-20. Iowa beat Kentucky, Music City Bowl, 21-0. In the other playoff game tonight, TCU advances to the national championship. They defeated Michigan in the Fiesta Bowl, 51-45. Here it's 21 apiece. Georgia and Ohio State locked up in a good one in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. Stroud with a play fake, stands in the pocket and throws, and a nice reaching grab by one of their tight ends at the 35, Joe Royer, a junior from Cincinnati, with Christopher Smith right on top of him. Royer reached the arms out way in front of his body and pulled that ball in at the 35-yard line.
Royer was a third option there for Stroud on that pass route. Good coverage downfield by the Dogs in the deep secondary, but nice patience by Stroud going from 1 to 2, back to Royer as his third option.
Got about 9 yards on that play to the 35. Snap it back to Stroud. Play fake, rolls to the right, throws with one hand off one leg, and incomplete. Threw it kind of into the ground to Ibuka, who had fallen on the turf right in front of the Ohio State bench. Robert Beal, the linebacker, was in coverage with Emeka Ibuka that time. The pass is incomplete. Third and a long yard to go for the Buckeyes on their own 35-yard line.
There was a run pass option there by Ohio State. Stroud, when he initially pulled that, just wanted to hit his tight end in the flat. That was covered up pretty well. Then kind of a throwaway there by Stroud.
One back in the backfield with Stroud. They snap it back to him. Rides the back, runs it straight ahead. And he runs it into the pile. Didn't get much. Georgia thinks they've stopped him, and it's fourth down. No indication yet from the officials as they unstack the pile. Yeah, I don't think he got it. He's short of the 36. Munden and Beal, the linebackers, and Stackhouse stacking up the interior part of the line to force a fourth down for Ohio State.
Boy, and Ohio State keeping their offense on the field right now. They don't get this. This could really flip the momentum back over to Georgia.
Fourth down and about a foot to go. Stroud wants the football. Clapping his hands. They may be trying to get Georgia to jump. Stroud now looking at the sideline. Play clock at 4, at 3, yeah. And it'll run out, and Ohio State will call a timeout before the play clock hits 0. So Georgia comes up with a key third down stop on 3rd and short to force a fourth and about a foot. And now Ohio State will call a timeout with 4:28 to go in the second quarter. Ball's just short of the 36 of the Buckeyes. Stay tuned for the Breda Pest Management halftime report with Neil Hondo Williamson. That's coming up momentarily. The halftime report protected by Breda Pest Management. With Breda, you don't have to be afraid of bugs.
Well, no indication yet from Ohio State that they're going to send the punt team back out there. 4th and inches. You know that Coach Day has got trust and belief in this offense for sure, but they don't pick it up here. It can be a big play in this football game.
Chris Schiavone tells me one of the key players for Ohio State, their tight end, Cade Stover, has left the playing surface for the moment. I guess gone back to the locker room. So now we each have a tight end that has left the game, at least for the moment. Darnell Washington shaken up earlier in this half and has not returned due to a reported ankle injury. 4th down, Ohio State with the offense back out there. 4th down and less than a foot. Flag down as Stroud keeps it and runs out of the shotgun to the near side, swings around the corner, gets the first down easily, but a flag down in the Ohio State backfield back at the 33-yard line.
Illegal motion, offense, 5-yard penalty, replay 4th down.
Oh, that's just mind-numbing for a head coach. You come out of a timeout on 4th down and short like that, you decide to go for it, and then you mess it up with a penalty on an illegal motion.
Yeah, illegal motion. The motion man actually went towards the line of scrimmage. Absolutely the right call.
Ryan Day kind of pleading with this Pac-12 officiating group. But the flag remains, and they will punt, and we will fair catch it. Going down to our knees is Kearis Jackson at the 33. Kearis went down on the knee at the 32 and fell forward to the 33-yard line. Georgia has a player down back at the Buckeye 45-yard line.
I think that's Chaz Chambliss that's down.
I think you're right. The linebacker from Carrollton, Georgia, on the turf at the Buckeye 45-yard line. The punt was only 38 yards, practically zero hang time on it. And Kearis made the fair catch going down to his knees. And play is stopped with the injury now with 4:12 to go in the quarter.
Boy, and if Chambliss holding his knee, we'll hope that he is okay. But if he can't go, we are really thin. Of course, you had the season-ending injury to Nolan Smith. That took him out. Chaz Chambliss able to step in and fill that role. And now it comes down to M.J. Sherman, potentially. Marvin Jones Jr. Is another one that could fill in. Potentially Sorey Jr. going outside. So really, really thin right now. Outside of that, you're looking at freshmen that haven't played.
Well, they helped Chambliss up. He can't walk by himself on that leg, so he'll have to drape his arms across the athletic trainers. 4 of them came out, and head coach Kirby Smart were all kneeled down around Chaz Chambliss at the 45-yard line. And they have helped up the Georgia linebacker, and they are assisting him to the sideline now. So that's 2 guys out of the game right now for Georgia that we know about. Washington hasn't returned since an ankle injury, and now Chaz Chambliss. And we'll try to get some information and pass that along to you when we get it. 21-21 is our score here. 4:12 to go, second quarter of the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl here in Atlanta. Winner goes to the national championship to face the Horned Frogs of TCU. They beat Michigan in the Fiesta earlier today. 1st and 10 Dogs on our 33. Handoff McIntosh. Hole at right tackle. Oh, he almost squeezed through. They grab his ankles and pull him down to the turf at the 37. Kenny Mack veered to the left and then back to the right, but Lathan Ransom, the safety, made a nice leg tackle to prevent McIntosh from getting more than the 4 yards that he gained. Now Georgia goes quickly. Deep throw by Bennett is broken up down at the 30-yard line of Ohio State. Trying to go to A.D. Mitchell deep down the field. Batted away by Cameron Brown, the cornerback, and broken up incomplete.
Boy, A.D. Mitchell was wide open, running down the down the seam against cover 3. Stetson Bennett late letting that football go, though.
3rd down 6 for the Bulldogs. Georgia's on its own 37-yard line. Moving to our left. Taking time. Play clock's at 10. We're up to the line of scrimmage. It's in Delpin motion to the right. Snap back to Bennett in the shotgun. Stetson bounces, throws over the middle. Open is the man at the 47-yard line. That's Rosemy-Jacksaint. He veers to the near side. They tackle him at the 34, maybe the 35. Ransom and McAllister, two safeties for Ohio State. But a big pass play and a positive gain for the Dogs to the Buckeye 35-yard line.
Rosemy-Jacksaint just on a dig route right across the middle, but give credit to the Georgia offensive line. Stetson had a clean pocket to throw from, a lot of vision, and all day to deliver that one.
28 yards on the gain. And then Rosemy had to leave the game after that with one of his arms dangling. Well, hopefully he's not shaken up too badly. Milton, big hole straight up the middle. 30, 25, 22, 21, 20. And they tackle him. Chambers between the hash marks right on the 20-yard line, but we push that ball into the Massey Ferguson red zone again with a nice inside run by Kendall Milton.
Great block there by Cedric Van Pran. Just a trap right on his backside. And the Dogs' offensive line starting to establish some dominance here against this Ohio State defensive front.
15-yard run by Milton. 1st and 10 Georgia on the Ohio State 20, trying to regain the lead here, or take the lead actually for the first time. Handoff Milton at left guard. Ohio State stacks it up this time. One of the big guys, Cage and Harrison, in there along with Chambers to close down the gap. And Milton stopped right on the line of scrimmage, maybe a smidge beyond it. He didn't get a yard. He may have gotten 6 inches.
Dogs right now taking their time, milking this clock. 2:12, 2:10 now left.
Rosemy-Jacksaint back in. Bowers, they're to the left, and two receivers right, Mitchell and Jackson. Dejon Edwards in the backfield. They fake a pitch to him and then throw it. Bennett's throw is off the left hand of Dejon Edwards. He tried to one-hand it on the near sideline, and it falls incomplete.
Now that one wasn't really going anywhere anyway. Brock Bowers was on that side as well, a little bit deeper. Pretty good coverage there. And Stetson quickly to the check down, but Dejon Edwards not ready to catch the football.
3rd down, 10. Clock stops with the incomplete pass. 1:56 to go, quarter number 2. 21-21, Georgia and Ohio State. McIntosh in the backfield with Bennett. Two receivers stacked to the right, two to the left. McConkey and Bowers are to the left for Georgia. Snap it back to Bennett. He looks to the left, moves to the left, throws it to the left. It's caught by McConkey at the 15. They tackle him at the 14.
Ohio State went cover 0 there and brought the house. Stetson, as soon as he caught it, just started drifting to his left to get away from where the pressure was coming from. Quick dump to McConkey.
Sawyer and Burke made the tackle. Dogs are short of the first down. It's 4th and about 4, and we leave the offense out there. Ohio State has called a timeout, I believe. Ohio State calls a time. Ball's on the Buckeye 14-yard line on the near hash, so timeout Ohio State. And I think that's all of theirs in the half. 1:49 remaining. And Georgia threatening down here to take the lead for the first time in the game. We're tied at 21. Dogs have scored the last 14 points of the game.
It'll be interesting to see what the Dogs do here. You would think we would just take the points. We get the football coming out at the start of the second half and could do what Ohio State tried to do, send the offense out and try to draw somebody off sides to pick up a cheap first down.
That's what it looks like as the offense comes back out there with Bennett and McIntosh and Mitchell. Georgia on 4th down this year. Very high percentage, 85%. We've converted 11 of 13 on 4th down, if that's the route we take here. On 4th and 4 from the Buckeye 14-yard line. Tight end to the left. Bowers now to the left. Two tight ends there. Now they shift back to the right. Bennett under center. Now he's calling for more motion. Bowers goes back and forth in motion. And Georgia will call a timeout. That's what they tried to do. Tried to get Ohio State to budge. They didn't bite. And now I'm assuming after the timeout, we'll see Jackpot Lesney try a field goal. Let's take a look at the second quarter recap presented by Ag South, Ag Georgia, and Southwest Georgia Farm Credit. Loans for land and farms. Each team has scored 14 here in the quarter. The Dogs have a large edge on the stat sheet with 314 total yards to 173 for the Buckeyes. The Dogs have thrown for 191 and rushed for 123. Ohio State 163 through the air, only 10 yards rushing. McIntosh, the leading rusher for the Dogs, 2 carries, 56 yards. Bennett's 12 for 17, 191. Stroud 11 of 15, 163. He's got a couple of touchdown passes. Pod will try to convert here on a field goal from the near hash, kicking left, a 33-yard try. And the kick is away, and the kick is good this time. He missed a 47-yarder earlier. He makes from 33, and the Dogs lead for the first time, 24-21, with 1:44 to go in the first half. Well, it feels good to be in front for a change.
Boy, does it ever. Ohio State, just a runaway train there for a little bit. Dogs able to find a way to get a couple of stops. Obviously hurt. The Dogs were hurt, obviously, by the interception by Stetson Bennett that gave Ohio State the short field. But Ohio State, explosive, can strike at any time. Dogs finding a way to get a couple of stops, force a couple of punts, and then take advantage of those situations, claw their way back into the game, find a way to get the lead. Now this next minute 44 really important. If the Dogs can find a way to get into the locker room at halftime, they get the ball back coming out of the second half. So a chance maybe to extend some here, but every drive in this football game feels critically important.
17 straight points now for Georgia to take the lead, 24-21. Here's Pod's kickoff. Booms it long and deep, high and end over end. Lands in the end zone. Buckeyes will take the touchback and have it at the 25 with a minute 44 to go. But no timeouts remaining for Ohio State here in the half. That scoring drive for Georgia on the 32-yard field goal by Jack Podlesny was 8 plays and 53 yards. It took 2:28 on the clock. That's your Georgia Metals drive summary. From a doghouse to a dog's house, Georgia Metals has got you covered. First and 10, Ohio State on the 25. Buckeyes going to go empty. 3 receivers to the near side, 2 to the wide side. They throw it to the left, and it's caught by Xavier Johnson. He's stumbling after he catches it, puts a hand on the turf, trying to keep going forward, and we hit him down at the 31-yard line with Michael Williams, the lineman from Columbus.
Quick slip screen there to Xavier Johnson.
He got 6, 2nd and 4. Ohio State goes quickly, and they get it to one of their receivers, Ibuka, who's got speed all the way up almost to midfield before we tackle him on that crossing route. Starks makes the stop, and they put the ball down on the 50.
Ibuka there, just a crossing route, able to catch the ball with some room to run.
2 plays, 25 yards to midfield. Stroud will throw again. Another crossing or a quick slant on the inside to Fleming. Catches it inside the near hash mark, quickly in Georgia territory. We tackle him with Ringo at the Georgia 37-yard line, 13 more yards. Ohio State easily coming down the field, less than a minute to go. Stroud with time in the pocket, deep ball. He's got a man open, and he makes the catch at the 12, spins away, and a touchdown.
Boy, just way too easy there. Dogs go cover 2.
Holy
Xavier Johnson right down the middle. Dogs not even close to him.
Wow. They wore us out on that one with a minute 44. They scored in 55 seconds.
Well, the only good news for the Dogs is we've got time to go strike back.
Well, that's a good point. Pass, touchdown. Wow. That was impressive no matter how you look at it. 27-24 now. Ohio State back in front with a point after try coming. And the kick is up and good. 28-24 by Ruggles. 37-yard touchdown throw from Stroud to Xavier Johnson. 3rd touchdown pass of the game for C.J. Stroud, the Heisman finalist. Buckeyes go 4 plays, 75 yards, and 55 seconds. That's the Georgia Metals drive summary. From a doghouse to a dog's house, Georgia Metals has got you covered.
Boy, really well-designed play there by Ohio State. We were in cover 2. Johnson was actually in the backfield, just ran a free release.
Georgia number 2 is now
go route right up the middle of the field.
Georgia
so they got Xavier
26.
Johnson, who's really a receiver, playing some running back on Georgia's linebacker, and we had no chance to cover him.
Well, we gave up 30 to LSU in the SEC championship game, most points we'd allowed all season. We've given up 28 to Ohio State here in the first half, and we're not done yet. 49 seconds to go in the second quarter. Buckeyes lead by 4. Jaden Fielding will kick it away from left to right. High kick will sail to the left side of the end zone. Kieras will run away from it. It'll bounce over the back line for the touchback. Dogs have the ball. We have 2 timeouts remaining and 49 seconds to go as we pause for station identification on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network. Let's see if the Bulldogs can counter with a 2-minute offense, or in the case of Ohio State, a 55-second offense. Boy, the ball barely touched the ground on that last series. From Stroud to receiver until they went to 75 yards in the end zone. And the last play covering 37 yards for the touchdown. All right, here we go. 49 seconds to go in the half for Georgia. See if they can counter. Bennett's pass to the left flat is batted down in the air by Tuimoloau. Batted incomplete. Georgia raced over to pick it up just in case, but it was not a lateral. It was batted down as Tuimoloau came up, jumped in the air, and got it with both hands. 2nd and 10 for the Dogs on our 25. Ball's on the far hash. We're moving left. Trying to, anyway. 46 seconds to go. Second quarter. 2nd down and 10. Coming up for Georgia. 1 receiver tight to the right, 2 to the left. Bennett drops back in the shotgun. Taps the ball. Taps it again. Now throws and almost intercepted. He missed his target, McConkey, who was leaping for the ball. Threw it a little bit high. It hit the Ohio State defender in the hands, Brown, but he didn't hang on this time. They intercepted it earlier with Steel Chambers. Brown dropped one that he probably should have had right there around the Georgia 37-yard line. Dogs catch a break. It's 3rd down and 10.
Boy, a lot of traffic that Stetson tried to force that one into. Tried to get a little extra oomph onto it, and when he did, it sailed on him.
All right, 40 seconds now. 3rd and 10. Georgia's just going to kill clock. Bennett will snap it, take the snap, and just take a knee, and the Dogs will head to the locker room. Kirby Smart going to come out and talk to his quarterback before they go inside the locker room. 27 seconds remain. Both teams now starting to file in. Cheers from the stadium, both sides. Ohio State leads Georgia 28-24. And we'll catch up and get some quick thoughts with Kirby in just a moment. But I'm sure he won't be happy how that first half ended for Ohio State, as his defense just gave up rip play after rip play, and we've yielded 28 points in the half and trail by 4 here in the Peach Bowl.
Yeah, one thing I think that is pretty obvious is we've got to find ways to get into the offensive backfield of Ohio State and just exert pressure and get him uncomfortable, because when he's sitting back there, his receivers are good enough, he's good enough that they can just pick you apart.
Kirby now can catch up with Shock. Our halftime interview brought to you by Zaxby's. Let's go down to DJ on the field. Shock. All right. Well, we don't have the audio from the field, unfortunately. Our halftime interview would have been brought to you by Zaxby's with Coach Kirby Smart. Our halftime score, Ohio State 28 and Georgia 24. Stay tuned for the Breda Pest Management halftime report with Neil Williamson. He's standing by here on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
With Northside Hospital, you can look forward to new beginnings, look ahead to comeback seasons, and look up for hope and strength. Northside welcomes you into our community of care, guided by one clear direction, a mission to heal. Led by our expertise in maternity, heart, cancer, orthopedics, and more, you can move into tomorrow with confidence. For a healthier future together, look to Northside Hospital.
You can't be elite some of the time. It has to be all the time. That's why we work hard to be better and tougher than the game before. The same is true with the Ford F-150 truck. Decades of proven capability, innovation, and reliability. It's no wonder Ford F-150 is the official truck of the national champion Georgia Bulldogs and yours truly, Coach Kirby Smart. See your local Ford dealer today.
Not all models, trims, or features may be available. Contact your dealer for more information.
Go Dogs.
This is the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Get ready for kickoff at the UGA Bookstore, featuring the best Bulldog gifts and apparel. Shop all the great brands at the UGA Bookstore like Nike, Tommy Bahama, Vineyard Vines, and Southern Tide. The UGA Bookstore is the exclusive home of the UGA 10 collection by Peter Millar. The UGA Bookstore in the heart of campus, next to the Tate Student Center. Shop online 24/7 at UGABookstore.com. The UGA Bookstore, it's where dogs shop.
Imagine a college marching band in lockstep coordination trampling through your house. Right 2, 3, left 2. Now imagine those musicians are actually bugs and wildlife. Winter means the roaches, termites, and rodents are looking for warm spots to survive, including your house. Neil Honda Williamson for Breda Pest Management. Keep your home free of unwanted pests this winter with Breda, like I do. BREDA Pest.com.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
On the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network. Welcome to the Halftime Report, protected by Breda Pest Management. Here's your host, Neil Honda Williamson.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Atlanta, the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, the CFP semifinal. Georgia trailing at 1 point, 21-7, able to recover with 17 unanswered points before surrendering a late second quarter touchdown drive to Ohio State. The Buckeyes and the Bulldogs in the locker room with OSU on top, 28-24. This is the Breda Pest Management Halftime Report, joined now by Eric Zier here in the booth, DJ Shockley down on the field. Z, we'll start with you. Please, both of you, answer as you'd like. C.J. Stroud as advertised.
Yeah, and then some, and so is that receiving core. They are big, they are fast, they are athletic. C.J. Stroud, extremely accurate with the football, great feet in the pocket. You know, one thing is crystal clear. If you sit back and play any kind of soft zone, he's going to pick you apart. Dogs have got to find a way to apply consistent pressure. And I think that even means as we come out at halftime, if we've got to go man up on those receivers and just go bring every look that we can possibly draw up to try to create some confusion, go do it. You're going to get exposed a little bit by going one-on-one with those guys. But the other option is just sit back in soft zone, and you know they're going to pick you apart then without much of an answer to go get to them. So we'll see what kind of adjustments are going to be made, but we've got to find a way to pressure Stroud consistently.
Hey, guys, at the half, I asked Coach, how do you slow down this Ohio State offense? And he said basically the difference in the ball game is we've had chances to get him on the ground. We have to get him on the ground. He said that's the only reason they're having the success right now is our inability to get them on the ground and bust plastering on the back end. He said those couple plays that he made, that's 14 points off the board if we're able to get to him. So expect more pressure. Expect them to have a better attitude about getting to the quarterback. But it definitely, C.J. Stroud is an advertiser. You can tell he came in with a chip on his shoulder too, Sean, is trying to show people what he's about.
Darnell Washington out of the game. He had one catch early on. Brock Bowers, one catch, 17 yards. We know that Ohio State has done a good job on tight ends earlier this year. Michael Meyer of Notre Dame had only 5 catches for 32 yards in the Buckeyes win there. Shock, we'll start with you. Do we need to get Brock Bowers going, or are they just taking it away and we'll just have to take whatever they give us?
That's a good question, Hunter, because I asked some of the guys coming in what was the plan, what did Ohio State defense pose. They said they play a lot of bracket coverage. So in this bracket coverage, they're going to be passing off. They're going to be kind of combo coveraging whoever they think is probably the best player. That's why Stetson had to go away from him a couple times. So I think you will have a more emphasis on getting the football in the second half, but you got to take what they give you. You can't force the football. That's why other guys out here got to step up.
Yeah, and one thing that the Dogs did show there, especially in the second quarter, is the ability to run the football. I think that we can go pound and ground on these guys, control the clock to some extent, and just go play grown man physical football. You go do that, you're going to force Ohio State to drop another guy in the box. And now all of a sudden some of that bracket coverage they can't go do. Start with running the football, go gash them. We've had some big gash runs. We're north of 100 yards on the ground so far in this first half. So finding some success, through that success, you're going to be able to open up guys like Brock Bowers and A.D. Mitchells and some of these other guys downfield.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. Go get yourselves some refreshments. And if you're listening out on the road, please be safe tonight. It is New Year's Eve, and we know that it's amateur hour for a lot of folks, and we would like to keep all of you, whether you're in the Bulldog Nation or just listening for recreation, we'd like to keep you all safe and sound here on New Year's Eve. This is the Breda Pest Management Halftime Report. Remind you that no one gets you closer to college football than SiriusXM. Download the SiriusXM app and take your Georgia Bulldogs with you all season long. Tune in to SEC Radio exclusively on SiriusXM for news, talk, analysis, and more. Straight from your phone, no car required. Let's check those first half statistics for you after these words on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
Piedmont Bank is a proud partner of the UGA Athletic Association. When you need a business banking ally who is as invested in your goals as you are, you can depend on us. We are committed to supporting members of the local community by providing the tools they need to achieve financial success. Through our partnership with the UGA Athletic Association, we believe in a Georgia where we all succeed. Piedmont Bank, knowing you better, serving you best. Learn more at Piedmont.bank. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
With Northside Hospital, you can look forward to new beginnings, look ahead to comeback seasons, and look up for hope and strength. Northside welcomes you into our community of care, guided by one clear direction, a mission to heal. Led by our expertise in maternity, heart, cancer, orthopedics, and more, you can move into tomorrow with confidence. For a healthier future together, look to Northside Hospital.
The Dogs are heard right here. This is the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
With the Kroger Plus card, it's easy to get lower than low prices for the win. And for every $1 you spend, you earn fuel points, which can add up to $1 per gallon off at the pump for the win. Plus, save every day on groceries and get personalized digital coupons for the win. The Kroger Plus card. All you do is win. Big, big savings. Sign up now at Kroger.com and start saving. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply.
First time I ran onto the field as a freshman, Sanford Stadium was rocking. Thousands of Georgia fans were calling the Dogs. I was ready to run through a brick wall. Even today, I still get goosebumps. It fires us up. It's a tradition every Georgia fan loves.
This Bulldog tradition is brought to you by your local Ford dealer, where you'll find the official truck of the national champion Georgia Bulldogs, the Ford F-150 pickup. Not all models, trims, or features may be available. Contact your dealer for more information.
This is Coach Kirby Smart. Go Dogs.
Now, more of the Halftime Report, protected by Breda Pest Management. With Breda, you don't have to be afraid of bugs. Once again, here's Neil Hondo Williamson.
Ohio State on top here at the break, 28-24, college football playoff semifinal winner. here in Atlanta will go take on TCU next Monday night at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California for the national championship. Thanks for joining us, everybody. The Halftime Report protected by Breda Pest Management, the official pest control of Georgia Athletics. With Breda, you don't have to be afraid of bugs. So, appreciate you tuning in. Let's check statistics from around the rest of the country today. Or no, not from around the country, sorry, from this game. We'll check scores in just a little bit from around the rest of the country. Total yards today, Georgia has accumulated 313 to just 248 for Ohio State. I say just with quotation marks around it because that's a 500 and something yard game if they keep that up. But Georgia outgaining the Buckeyes so far. Passing yards, it's 238 for C.J. Stroud, and the Buckeyes, Stroud is 15 of 19 passing. He has 3 TD passes for the 238 yards. Stetson Bennett is 12 of 20. Stetson has 195 passing yards with 1 touchdown and 1 very costly interception. Throwing it was picked off by Ohio State at the Georgia 30, and they were able to punch it in for a touchdown early in the game. Rushing, Georgia is out rushing Ohio State 122 yards to 10. Kenny McIntosh with 2 rushes for 56 yards. One of them was a breakaway beauty of 52 yards, and then he tripped himself on the 10-yard line as he was headed for the touchdown. Fortunately, Georgia was able to convert the TD anyway. Dejon Edwards has 4 carries for 48 yards with a long of 21. Kendall Milton has toted the mail 3 times for 26 yards. Checking other stats here. Penalties. Georgia 2 for 14. Ohio State 1 for 5. Georgia has missed a field goal. Jack Podlesny coming up wide early in the first quarter on a 47-yard attempt. So special teams and turnovers, Georgia has not kept pace with Ohio State in those 2 areas, and that leaves us at 28-24. As we mentioned, C.J. Stroud with 238 passing yards, Ohio State with 248 total yards. Jay Black tells me that over the last 6 quarters now, so it's the 4 against LSU and the 2 so far today against Ohio State, Georgia's defense has surrendered 740 yards. Hopefully we can tighten that up after the break. We will come back and check scores from around the nation from earlier today for you in just a bit. Remind you that Northside Hospital is guided by one clear direction, a mission to heal. With expertise in maternity, heart, cancer, orthopedics, and more, you can move into tomorrow with confidence. For a healthier future together, look to Northside Hospital. Georgia trailing Ohio State 28-24. We will check out the scores from around the nation when the Breda Pest Management Halftime Report continues on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
One of the toughest jobs in law enforcement is telling a family that a loved one has been killed by a drunk driver. That's why Georgia law enforcement works every day to keep drunk drivers off the road. Every DUI arrest could be one less family to lose someone to drunk driving. You can help. Hand the keys to a designated driver or call a ride service. It saves lives and prevents a costly DUI arrest. Drive sober or get pulled over. Brought to you by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
No matter your favorite game day tradition, it all starts with a cup of coffee to get you ready to cheer on a Bulldogs win. Community Coffee is a proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs, serving Bulldog Nation with rich and smooth blends crafted right here in the USA. We've supported and celebrated thriving communities like the UGA family for over 100 years, and we believe there's no better day than game day for bringing people together. Community Coffee, strong as our roots.
This is the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Why do coaches insist that plays be run over and over in practice? Because repetitions and study produce winners. Neil Hondo Williamson for Meriwether & Tharp. Meriwether & Tharp has handled more than 10,000 divorce cases. They've taken the reps and are ready to help. Your kids, your money, your house. You've got questions. Meriwether & Tharp has answers, helping clients through difficult times. Meriwether & Tharp, proud sponsors of the Georgia Bulldogs, theatlantadivorceteam.com.
Piedmont Bank is a proud partner of the UGA Athletic Association. When you need a business banking ally who is as invested in your goals as you are, you can depend on us. We are committed to supporting members of the local community by providing the tools they need to achieve financial success. Through our partnership with the UGA Athletic Association, we believe in a Georgia where we all succeed. Piedmont Bank, knowing you better, serving you best. Learn more at Piedmont.bank. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back to the Breda Pest Management Halftime Report. Breda Pest Management, the official pest control of Georgia Athletics. With Breda, you don't have to be afraid of bugs. Your old buddy Hondo, along with Adam Gillespie, Chris Schiavone, Jay Black here in our studio. Scott and Eric are in the back catching their breath from what was really a breathtaking first half of offense from both teams. DJ Shockley down on the sidelines, and Luke Ned Carney back in our studio producing this entire affair. I hope I haven't left anyone out. Let's check scores for you from around the nation. Earlier today in the other semifinal out in the Fiesta Bowl, the Horned Frogs of TCU ranked third, knocked off number 2 Michigan, handing the Wolverines their first defeat of the season. TCU grabbed an early 21-3 lead in that game. Michigan battled back, then TCU went up 34-16, and Michigan battled back, and TCU went up 41-22. The Wolverines were much like Freddy Krueger. You just couldn't kill them off until they ran out of time. 51-45, the final. Horned Frogs headed to the Natty next Monday in L.A. Elsewhere in the Sugar Bowl, Alabama and Kansas State. The Wildcats leapt to a 10-0 lead on Alabama very early, and then Bryce Young took over. The guy completed 15 passes today. 15 passes for 321 yards and 5 touchdowns for Bryce Young as the Crimson Tide rolls over Kansas State 45-20. And one other game today, it was the Trans-Perfect Music City Bowl. Iowa defeated Kentucky 21-0. You say to yourself, if you're me, well, you're driving to the game, Eric Zier and I driving in, I said, geez, I can't believe Iowa has scored 21 points in the first half. They haven't scored that many all season, it felt like. And then when we got here, we found out that they had 2 pick sixes in the first half in the second quarter. So the Hawkeyes over the Wildcats 21-0. Kentucky finishes 7-6. That's going to do it for your Breda Pest Management halftime report. Here in Atlanta, Georgia will get the ball when we resume second half play. It's 28-24. Ohio State leading. Winner goes to L.A. for the Natty. Stay with us. This is the Bulldogs Sports Network.
With Northside Hospital, you can look forward to new beginnings, look ahead to comeback seasons, and look up for hope and strength. Northside welcomes you into our community of care, guided by one clear direction, a mission to heal. Led by our expertise in maternity, heart, cancer, orthopedics, and more, you can move into tomorrow with confidence. For a healthier future together, look to Northside Hospital.
You know the expression, home for the holidays. This is Kirby Smart, and I'm proud to call Georgia home like my friends at Southeast Mortgage. They have been in business since 1993, they are Georgia grown, and they are the lender built to last. When you're in the market for a place to come home to this holiday season, make the smart choice and choose the team I trust. Find them online at southeastmortgage.com/UGA. Southeast Mortgage, the official home loan lender of the Georgia Bulldogs.
Southeast Mortgage of Georgia, Inc. NMLS number 103956. Georgia Residential Mortgage Licensee number 6578.
Some natural gas providers rely on a playbook full of trick plays, like introductory rates and hidden payment fees. Before you know it, you're paying more than you bargained for. You need a strong defense against these schemes and misdirections. After 20 years of providing natural gas to homes and businesses across Georgia, Walton Gas has a winning game plan that puts you first. It's about straightforward rate plans, ongoing value, and a customer experience that is sure to beat the competition. Call Walton Gas or visit waltongas.com to learn more about Georgia's most trusted natural gas provider. And as always, go Dogs!
With the Kroger Plus card, it's easy to get lower than low prices for the win. And for every $1 you spend, you earn fuel points, which can add up to $1 per gallon off at the pump for the win. Plus, save every day on groceries and get personalized digital coupons for the win. The Kroger Plus card. All you do is win. Big, big savings. Sign up now at Kroger.com and start saving. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield and JMI Sports under the broadcast rights granted by the University of Georgia. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of the University of Georgia, Learfield, and JMI Sports. Announcers are provided by Learfield and JMI Sports and approved by the University of Georgia.
Halftime winding down here in Atlanta. Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, college football playoff semifinal. Ohio State with a 21-24 lead over Georgia as the Bulldogs will get the ball to start the second half. Let's come up with some second half adjustments brought to you by Visit Lake Oconee. Visit Lake Oconee, Atlanta's lakeside destination, 75 miles away. Hopefully the Dogs aren't thinking about being 75 miles away in the second half. See, what are they going to have to adjust to for the final two periods?
Yeah, to start on the defensive side, for C.J. Stroud and this receiver core, they are as advertised. They are excellent at their craft, and you can see them just picking us apart right now. Dogs have got to find a way to go get more consistent pressure. Every time we sit back in any kind of zone and rush 3 or 4, C.J. Stroud is having a field day. Now, you take some risk when you go do that because you're going to go man up, and you're going to put guys on islands, and you know how good these receivers are. But we have to get C.J. Stroud flustered and make him feel our presence on the field. So look for more of an aggressive game plan, a lot more blitzing in the second half from the Dogs. On the offensive side, a lot of positive things. Dogs racking up yardage. Any adjustment there really is how do we want to manage this game going forward? We're beginning to open up a number of holes running the football. Our offensive line is owning the line of scrimmage. So can we now go run the football, control the clock, go on some time-consuming drives, and try to slow this football game down some?
Well, tell me if these numbers are telling. The two top receivers coming into the game for Ohio State, Marvin Harrison, Georgia's leading receiver this year, Brock Bowers. Harrison at halftime, 5 catches, 106 yards, been targeted 8 times. He has 2 touchdowns. Bowers, 1 catch for 17 yards, no scores. He's been targeted once.
Yeah, and with Bowers, a lot of bracket coverage right now on Bowers. Ohio State doing a good job of trying to take him away. That's okay. Offensively, we're moving the football. Take what they give us. If we do run the football, that'll force them out of some of those combo coverages.
Dogs will return this kick with Kearis Jackson from the goal line. Veers to the outside, far sideline. Jumps in the air at the 29, and they knock him out of bounds around that spot. He may have gotten to the 30 in the air. And we'll see after they unpile everybody over there. Maybe the 29 looks like the spot as we watch from the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth here inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. The governor's office of highway safety says the penalty for getting a DUI can cost up to $10,000. That's why the governor's office of highway safety says drive sober so you won't get pulled over. Georgia will have it 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line to start quarter number 3. Down 4 points. Here we go. Handoff on the first play of the second half. Veers to the left with Kenny McIntosh. We get behind Kenny, push the pile. Those big linemen driving the ball up close to the 33, maybe even the 34-yard line. He may end up getting about 6 or 7 yards after that. Yeah, they unpiled at the 34.
Boy, that's just all the big uglies and the strength. We've seen them do it all year long. Get behind your running back and just push and push and push, and you can't get anybody down.
Now it looks like they bring it back to the 33-yard line, so it's going to be a 4-yard gain after they unpiled everybody and reset it. So 2nd down and 6. McIntosh out of the backfield to the left in motion. Bennett with time to throw. Deep ball to Bowers. Overshoots his man at the Ohio State 40. They had man coverage with Latham Ransom, the safety, and Bowers had gotten behind him by about a half step, but Stett's throw was about 3 yards too deep over everybody's head and complete.
Boy, just a little off the mark, but had exactly what we wanted. Finally got Brock manned up one-on-one, and Brock had a step on him. That football thrown high into the outside.
3rd down 6 for the Dogs. Just underway here in the third quarter. 3 receivers left, 2 to the right. We go with an empty set. Bennett in the shotgun. They snap it back to him from the 25. He looks to the right, throws it over the middle. It's batted down by Ohio State. Zach Harrison, big defensive lineman.
It's fourth down.
Fighting off the block. Got the deflection, batted it to the ground, incomplete. It's fourth down. The Dogs will have to punt it away.
Boy, not what you wanted there for the Dogs coming out, especially in this game. It's an absolute track meet to go 3 and out. Put your defense back into a stress position. Really an important drive here for the Georgia defense. See if we can get a quick 3 and out as well.
First punt of the game for the Dogs. Brett Thorson on to kick it away. Stands at the 18 to receive the snap. Snap it back. Thorson's punt. Spinning sideways. Comes down at the 30 or the 29 for Ohio State. Ibuka makes a fair catch. And the Buckeyes will have the ball on the 30. Only a 38-yard punt. No return on the play. And Ohio State will have it on offense for the first time in the half. Leading 28-24. And a lot of time left. Georgia only took a minute 4 off the clock on that first possession of the second half.
Darnell Washington on the sidelines on crutches, so he is going to be out for the game.
Carter and Logue and Walthour, our interior linemen. Stroud going to play fake, roll to his right, set up and throw across his body, and caught by Fleming. His momentum takes him out of bounds at the Georgia 45-yard line, far side of the field.
Another picture-perfect throw there by Stroud, and again, for the third time today, Stroud rolls out to his right, throws it back to his left. Dogs don't have an answer.
25 yards on the gain. The throw was longer than that, from where Stroud threw it to where Fleming caught it. So one play just like that, a big chunk play of 25 yards, 1st and 10 Buckeyes at the Georgia 45. Man in motion to the near side. They'll try to run it. They haven't had success doing that today. They run it with Xavier Johnson. This time the graduate from Cincinnati gets some positive yardage before Smile Munden brings him down inside the Georgia 40 at the 37.5-yard line.
It's a zone run there by Ohio State. Johnson able to find a crease. Nice pickup.
Yeah, you got 8.
10. Yeah.
And that's their longest run of the game, 8 yards. 2nd and 2 from the Georgia 37-yard line. Everybody in tight now for Ohio State. Out of the pistol, they play fake. Stroud all day to throw, sets up and fires. And there's the man underneath the coverage again. Ibuka running across the 20-yard line to the far sideline, makes the catch and steps out of bounds at the 18-yard line. Starks was trailing it.
Dogs didn't bring pressure, sat back in coverage, and again Stroud just all day to throw the football. And Ibuka, after about 5 seconds, finally able to find some space.
19 yards on that connection. One thing Stroud's doing too, Z, is he's really dropping deep.
Sure.
So it gives him a little bit more time, but he's got such a strong arm, it's not a problem to get the ball where he needs it to go. And they'll run it with Johnson. Runs straight ahead, down the hash, dives to the 10-yard line. They'll bring it back a little bit, spotted on the 12. Michael Williams tripping him up as he came through the line. But Johnson with a couple of nice runs here in the second half for Ohio State. They haven't had much of a running game at all. 2nd down and 4 after the 6-yard carry by the Buckeyes.
Yeah, 24 yards on the ground now for the Buckeyes. Just sprinkling it in there just enough to keep the Dogs honest. But Dogs have to hunker down here, find a way to hold Ohio State to 3.
Stroud under center. Stretch handoff to Williams. He jammed up at about the 10, maybe the 10.5. We'll see. Xavier Johnson running it straight into a crowd. And big number 78, Nazir Stackhouse, jamming up the middle of the line of scrimmage for the Bulldogs and driving the pile back, but they give him forward progress to the 10. He got 2. 3rd down and 2 more to go for a first down for the Buckeyes. They're on the Dogs' 10-yard line. Stroud again under center. One back deep in the backfield. Play fake, roll to the near side. Lob it open, man wide open in the flat at the 10 and into the end zone right inside the pylon. Touchdown, Emeka Ibuka.
Boy, a little bit of play action there, not a dog in sight. Ibuka crosses the field. Play action. Dogs lost contain immediately. And Ohio State answers the call out of halftime.
Buckeyes to try the point after. Well, the last 2 games through the air, our defense has just been shredded. Ruggles with the point after attempt, and it's up and good. Buckeyes back up by double figures, 35-24. Ohio State leading Georgia. Our second half tonight brought to you by First Franklin Financial. Visit 1ffc.com to learn more. 10:37 to go, third quarter. It's Ohio State by 11 over the Dogs on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
This football season, the Bulldogs won't be the only ones scoring. Let First Franklin Financial help you score the cash you need with a loan up to $15,000. At First Franklin, we offer fast approvals, fixed rates, and payment plans to fit any budget. To find the Georgia branch near you, visit us at WeMakeLoans.com. All loan terms and APR depend on meeting our underwriting and income criteria and may require collateral. First Franklin Financial Corporation, NMLS number 141654. Georgia residence licensing number 5656. Offer not available in North Carolina.
Yes, that's me, Kirby Smart, driving around town in a Ford F-150 pickup. Its comfortable, roomy interior and great tech are why it's my trusted daily driver. F-150 has the power to tackle the biggest jobs, but I depend on it to secure my most important cargo, my family. See your local Ford dealer and check out Ford F-150, the official truck of the Georgia Bulldogs.
Not all models, trims, or features may be available. Contact your dealer for more information.
Go Dogs.
This is your home of the Dogs. You're listening to the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Get ready for kickoff at the UGA Bookstore, featuring the best Bulldog gifts and apparel. Shop all the great brands at the UGA Bookstore like Nike, Tommy Bahama, Vineyard Vines, and Southern Tide. The UGA Bookstore is the exclusive home of the UGA 10 collection by Peter Millar. The UGA Bookstore in the heart of campus, next to the Tate Student Center. Shop online 24/7 at UGABookstore.com. The UGA Bookstore, it's where dogs shop.
You're the guy with Kevin the fire-breathing goat.
Yeah.
I'm playing Keno right now. Like you say, you pick 10 numbers, Keno picks 20. The more you match, the more you win.
Looks like your numbers are matching.
No way! Well, that was easy.
And there's another game in about 3 minutes.
Hey, little goat, you want to help me fill out my play slip for the next one?
No paper. That's why he plays on his phone.
Win up to $100,000 every 3.5 minutes. Playing Keno. Play responsibly.
Back inside the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Ohio State adds to its lead, 35-24, with a 70-yard drive in 6 plays, 3 minutes and 19 seconds on the clock. A 10-yard pass from Stroud to Ibuka. 4th touchdown pass of the game for the Heisman finalist C.J. Stroud. That's your Georgia Metals drive summary. From a doghouse to a dog's house, Georgia Metals has got you covered. Fielding to kick it away from left to right. Dogs down 11. A lot of time remaining. Kieris on the goal line for the Dogs on the far hash. Ball's going to come in his direction, sail over his head. 4 or 5 yards deep in the end zone. It'll be blown dead, and the Dogs will take a touchback and have possession at the 25. Stroud, 7 for his last 7, 129 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Stetson Bennett starting to come back to earth a little bit. He was 10 for 12 at one point in the game. Now 12 out of 21 for 191 yards.
Three receivers to the right. Man comes in motion now. McIntosh in the lone setback. Bennett's under center. Handoff Kenny Mack, straight up the gut, 30, 35, and tripped up there. He got a quick 10 to the 35-yard line. Should be a first down. Scana Energy first down. And can we go down to Shock? Let's go down to DJ and get a sideline report brought to you by Ken Nugent. Attorney Ken Nugent, one call, that's all. DJ, what do you have for us?
Hey, fellas, you already talked about it. Big O was out, obviously, with that left ankle. Chaz Chambliss has a big old brace on his left knee. It is questionable return. And in the halftime, Coach Smart reminded these guys we were down more than this on the road against Missouri. We got to find our resolve and be able to run the rock here in the second half and win the line of scrimmage.
And they will run it again, but McIntosh runs right into the backside of his blocker at the 35 and is held up there. And Ohio State will stop the play right at the line of scrimmage. Ty Hamilton, the big lineman from Pickerington, Ohio, makes the stop. 2nd and 10 from the Georgia 35 now for the Bulldogs.
Well, we talked about in the first half, the need for the Dogs to counterpunch when we were down 14. Same kind of situation on this drive. The way that Ohio State offense is rolling right now, can't let them get out of reach here in the second half. Got to find a way to find points on this drive.
2 tight end set for Georgia. Handoff goes to Dejon Edwards. He plows ahead at right tackle and angles to the 38.5, almost the 39. Steele Chambers, who has an interception in the game tonight, makes the stop for Ohio State. And the gain was just about 3, maybe a tad more. They bring it back to the 38. And it'll be 3rd down and 7 for the Bulldogs.
Dogs have struggled on 3rd down tonight. Only 2 out of 6.
Yeah, that's well below. They're over 51% on 3rd downs for the season. But not there tonight. Snap it back to Bennett. On the 30, runs up into the pocket, pump fake, and then he's being hit as he throws, and the ball just kind of flutters out of his hand to the right and lands incomplete at the 42-yard line. And the play continues. Ohio State picked it up. I think they thought it was an incomplete pass, but they run it down to the 25-yard line, and Georgia hustles to tackle them. The officials may have called that a fumble.
The pass is incomplete. It's 4th down.
They didn't blow the whistle after the ball came out of Stead's hands and let the play continue, but then the explanation there by Chris Coit, the Pac-12 official. It's working this game tonight, and it's an incomplete pass and 4th down for the Dogs.
Yeah, just nowhere to go. We had crossing routes going all over the place. They all converged together as Stetson was having to step up in the pocket. Really nowhere to go with the football.
35-24 Ohio State. They're about to get the ball back. Here's Thorson to punt it away. A couple of steps to the right. He booms one. Wow. Beautiful long punt. That backs up Ibuka back close to the 10, maybe a shade inside the 10-yard line. Tremendous punt by Brett Thorson, the freshman from Australia. And Ohio State with actually some crummy field position for the first time. 52-yard kick by the Georgia punter. Our second half tonight brought to you by First Franklin Financial, serving our neighbors since 1941. Timeout here in Atlanta. 8:15 to go, 3rd quarter. Ohio State 35, Dogs 24 on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
365 days a year. Just call us up. We'll be right there. Our service is guaranteed. As you make, we take great care. Our experts are always there for you and your family's needs. When your family just can't wait, you can always count on Shunay.
Georgia is our home. That's why at Georgia Power, we're building the future of energy. Over the last decade, we've invested nearly $10 billion to strengthen the electric grid, installing new substations, upgrading transformers, moving power lines underground, and investing in cleaner energy. We're making the electric grid more resilient and reliable for you and for future generations. At Georgia Power, we know that making smart investments today prepares us to meet our customers' needs tomorrow.
Who says cats and dogs don't get along? Bobcat of Atlanta is a proud sponsor of the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network. With a full lineup of Bobcat equipment, we're here to partner with you for all your compact equipment needs. This fall, we're expanding to better serve you with 2 new locations in Peachtree City and Carrollton. Visit our team today at one of our locations in Norcross, Marietta, Riverdale, Gainesville, Covington, or on the web at bobcatofatlanta.com. Go Dogs!
Make this the summer event.
Set height. Get tailgate ready at Athens Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. From Ram 1500 to the all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee, we have the perfect vehicle for game day. Browse the largest Jeep facility in Georgia and feel like an MVP with our award-winning customer service. Expect more, get more. In person or online at athensdcjr.com. Proud sponsor of the Georgia Bulldogs.
8 square footage for factory facility addendum. See dealer for details.
Happy New Year and welcome back to Atlanta. The new year approaching as we welcome you back inside the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth, about 80 minutes away from 2023. And we're a quarter and a half away from a winner here in the Peach Bowl. Right now, Ohio State leading Georgia 35-24. They are backed up on their own 10-yard line to start this possession.
And we thought that the Dogs may start to bring pressure coming out of the locker room at halftime. Didn't see it on that first series. See if we dial it up now.
They run an end around with Ibuka, and he runs right into the All-American safety Chris Smith, who really laid a lick on him around the 14-yard line as he came wheeling around the near corner right into number 29. That was quite a collision, and the gain will be 2.5 the hard way.
Boy, that it was. Good job by the Dogs defensively, stretching that football play out, allowing Chris Smith to come up and make the tackle.
They call it a 3-yard gain, 2nd and 7 from the 13 for Ohio State. Motion man to the near side is Ibuka. Play fake Stroud, pressure from the back. He goes down. Blitz by the nickelback Bullard. Hits Stroud squarely in the back at the 5-yard line.
Boy, Stroud lucky that football didn't come out either. Great design football play right there. Bullard like a bullet coming in for the sack.
How do they spot the ball on the 8? Didn't he get hit on the 5?
My goodness.
That's a terrible spot. What the heck? Play clock's at 9. Ohio State's rushing a player off at the end of the play clock, and now whistles blow and a flag has been dropped.
Illegal substitution, 12 players in formation, offense. Half the distance to the goal, it's still 3rd down.
Well, now they move it back a little bit to where it should have been after the sack. It's on the 4. Ohio State 3rd and 16. All right, Dogs defense, what are you going to do? 6:39 to go, 3rd quarter. Buckeyes in a precarious position here, leading by 11, but on their own 4. 3rd down and 16. Stroud's in the end zone. They snap it back to him. In the end zone, he throws it down the middle and overthrows Harrison and almost threw it to our guy.
Boy, great coverage right there by the Dogs. We were in 2-man. Good pressure there. Didn't bring any external pressure, just rushed 4 again. But 2-man, great job underneath coverage. Had the safety over the top and, boy, had a chance to pick that one off.
That was David Daniel Sisavon that it looked like he kind of slid through his hands a little bit as on the overthrow, but he was unable to intercept it. It landed incomplete. So the Buckeyes will have to kick it out of the back of the end zone. They get the punt away. It's spinning backwards and backing up our return man Kieras to our 47. He veers to the middle of the field to the 45 to the 40. Still upright at the 35 of Ohio State. They tackle him around the 31, maybe the 32. Our coaching staff is jacked after that return over there, the blocking on the punt return. The punt was 50 yards, the return was 22, and the Dogs in a prime scoring position now, see, just outside the Ohio State 30 to start the possession.
Boy, no doubt about that. Our great punt to pin Ohio Sate back split field position, good defensive stand there, and Dogs now a great opportunity to claw back into this football game a little bit closer.
Dogs on the Buckeye 32-yard line. Moving left. They bring McConkey in motion to the left side. Bennett's in the shotgun with Edwards in the backfield. Dejan gets the carry. And he'll rush it straight ahead to the 30. And a nice tackle by Javonte Jean-Baptiste, who left his feet diving to make the tackle of Edwards after a 2-yard gain.
Dogs making a conscious effort to try to establish this running game, slow this game down just a little bit. Regardless of how you go do it, you've got to find points right now.
We're down 11 with 5:35 to go. Clock moving. 35-24. Buckeyes lead here in the third period. Unbalanced line to the right. We bring Bowers in motion, set him up as a wing to the left. Edwards the back. Gets the handoff. First man in, grabs his leg. That's the linebacker, Eichenberg, and he hangs on until help arrives as Edwards drags him a yard to the 29. And they'll spot it down there, only a 1-yard gain. If he got past Eichenberg, that initial contact, he might have had a few more yards, but he was unable to do so.
Ohio State sensing Dogs wanting to run the football. All 11 guys inside of 10 yards from the line of scrimmage there.
Third down, 7 for Georgia. McIntosh is in the backfield now. 2 tight ends and Arian Smith to the right. Bennett in the shotgun from the Buckeye 29. Bennett pulls down the ball, now dancing in the pocket, and they'll sack him at the 35-yard line.
Well, Ohio State defensively just pinning their ears back again. All 11 guys inside of 10 yards, just matching up with every one of the Dog receivers. Nowhere for Stetson to go with the football.
Second sack of the game for Ohio State. First time Stet's been sacked in a game in the last 7 outings. The last team to record a sack on Georgia was Vanderbilt back there in mid-October. But Ohio State with 2 sacks tonight and 4 TFLs, and now we'll go reaching for a long 52-yard field goal with Jackpot Lesney. Near hash kicking left. Snap, hold, kick is away. Will it reach? No good. Missed it to the right.
Yeah, 2 missed field goals. You've got a turnover that Ohio State gets points off of. You don't capitalize there. It makes it hard.
Indeed it does. 3:50 to go. Third quarter, 35-24. Ohio State leads Georgia. Our second half tonight brought to you by First Franklin Financial. Go see the friendly Franklin folks at one of their convenient Georgia locations. Timeout in Atlanta. Back after this on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Piedmont is passionate about Georgia, about each and every person that make this state incredible. From farmers to creators, manufacturers to teachers, to the dedicated staff walking our hallways. It's why we're leading real change in healthcare, to empower you through tools that make it easy to book in minutes, check in before you walk in, and have your health information all in one place. Visit Piedmont.org. Piedmont, real change lives here.
In the SEC, 1 extra rep means 1 extra inch, 1 extra voice to 1 extra decibel, 1 extra lap to 1/100th of a second, 1 extra hour of research to a lifetime of impact. In a conference of difference makers, 1 extra makes all the difference.
Don't go anywhere. The Dogs are coming right back. You're listening to the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
The doorbell rings. It's the kid who stole your lunch money in 4th grade, his 5 bratty children, and your great uncle who never bathes. All here to surprise you with a 4-day visit. Now instead, imagine those pests are roaches, termites, rodents, looking for a warm spot to spend the cold months. Breda Pest Management can't help you with your smelly uncle, but they can keep your home pest-free this winter. Neil Hondo Williamson for Breda. BREDA Pest.com.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
'Twas right before the holidays and down BMW Road, not a driver was stressed, only good vibes flowed.
Could it be because one sat in his BMW's plush leather seats or drove hundreds of miles without a slip in the sleet? Another drove far and yet was not stressed since she was cruising with intelligent GPS.
I've started guidance.
This holiday season, take on the ultimate drive when you buy a BMW 5 Series X7 or X5.
Proud sponsor of Georgia Athletics. Visit BMWATL.com today. Go Dogs!
Back inside the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Packed house on hand for this college football playoff semifinal. Ohio State leads Georgia getting late in the third quarter, 35-24. Dogs just missed a long field goal try. Pods missed 2 kicks tonight. He only missed 3 all season long, but both kicks have been long, 47 yards and 52 yards. And Ohio State will take over now at the 34-yard line. Their own 34, leading by 11. They play fake it. Stroud sets up with time as he's had all night. Now man shoots up the middle. Fires complete on the near sideline. A flag down in the Buckeye backfield.
Offense number 79. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
That will erase the completed pass to Ibuka in front of the Ohio State bench. Holding the call on the Buckeyes, so back them up 10 yards. It'll be 1st and 20.
Yeah, about 3 people held Smile Munden on that as he was coming through on a linebacker blitz. Good call by the referee there. And Dogs have Ohio State behind the chains again. Well, the 3 and out is just what the doctor has ordered if we can grab one.
1st and 20. From around the 25 for the Buckeyes. Stroud avoids the rush, rolls right, hangs it up deep, and interference on Ringo.
Boy, not even close.
Down at the 30-yard line of Georgia.
Keely Ringo never got his head turned around.
Oh, goodness.
Pass interference. Defense number 5. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Ringo's had a tough time with Harrison tonight, and that was the target again. And as he was trying to catch up, he just decided to interfere instead of defend, and that'll be a 15-yard penalty against the Dogs. And the ball back now on the 39 of Ohio State.
And if he just would have turned around, he would have picked it off. That ball underthrown badly, but Keely never located the football.
3 receivers to the left for Stroud in this formation, 1 to the right. Now they shift the motion man. That's Johnson in the backfield. Stroud in the shotgun. They snap it back. Only got 2 people rushing. Stroud easily avoids that, rolls to the right. It's wide open over on that side of the field, and he'll jog out of bounds on the Georgia sideline near midfield. Well, they're going to bring it back at the 46 of Ohio State. Dogs only had 2 guys rushing that time. 9 guys in coverage. And that didn't work very well either.
Now, nobody to throw the football to. C.J. Stroud doesn't run the football very often, but there had no choice but to run it as there wasn't a dog in sight.
Up to the 47. He got 7. Buckeyes 2nd and 3. 2:40 to go third quarter. Stroud under center this time. Lone setback will take a long toss in the backfield to the right corner, to the left corner, excuse me, as Hayden. And Hayden had a head of steam before we trip him up around the legs with Tyke Smith on the Georgia sideline at the Bulldog 37-yard line. So 16 yards on that toss to the left. And the Buckeyes are back in Georgia territory. Clock moving at 2:13, third quarter. 1st and 10, Ohio State on the Georgia 37-yard line.
Well, Dogs have got to hunker down here.
Stroud sets up in the pocket, will throw, and wide open in between the zone coverage is Ibuka again inside the 15. We chase him out of bounds around the 10-yard line. Here come the Buckeyes again.
4th time today. Little half roll by Stroud to his right. Throw back to Ibuka. Coming across the field, all the way across the field to his left. They've hit Harrison on that a couple of times as well. Dogs just no answer for that scheme and that concept.
Ohio State can pretty much just name the amount of yardage they want on each play. They got 27 that time. Goal to goal just inside the 10 on the far hash, moving to our right, leading by 11 and threatening to go up more. They shift into the pistol. Snap it back to Stroud. He'll reach and hand it off. And Hayden will run it to the right. He avoids the tackle by Stackhouse in the backfield, but Beal gets him inside the 10 around the 7 or the 8-yard line after they unpile all the red shirts. It's on the 7, so he got 3. Second and goal from the 7 for the Buckeyes. Less than a minute to go, third quarter.
The Dogs need a negative play here. They desperately have to hold Ohio State to a field goal.
Back to the left of Stroud. He's in the shotgun. Snap it back. He looks to the near corner and incomplete. Tried to go to Fleming. Keely Ringo in coverage that time, and he was right on top of him. And Stroud may have intentionally missed the target there just because Fleming wasn't open and he didn't want to throw a pick. So he threw it out of bounds on the right side of the end zone. Yeah. Third down and goal now for the Buckeyes.
Just back shoulder there, high and outside. Give your receiver a chance or nobody's going to get it. Keely, who's had a rough night, really a nice job on coverage there.
Third down and goal from the 7. Here's the money down, as they call it. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right for Ohio State. Snap it back to Stroud. He rolls to the near side. We pressure with 3 guys. He just hangs it up in the end zone. And Harrison drilled by Bullard. Did he make the catch? Flags are down. They're probably going to call Bullard for a targeting. Harrison's not moving. Ohio State quickly out to tend to their injured player on the back of the end zone. Did he catch the ball or no?
I couldn't see if he caught it.
Personal foul, targeting, defense number 22. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down. The play is under review.
Well, he doesn't get credit for the catch. I guess he was out of bounds, but he took a shot. I was just amazed that he caught it. We'll look at the replay here and see what we can dissect from that, as Stroud threw it from about the 23 off 1 foot. It looked like Harrison had already stepped out of bounds one time before he came back in and caught the football.
I don't think that's going to be targeted. He led with his shoulder. He turned his head. If they call that, if that call stands, it is a terrible, terrible call.
Well, the play is under review, and it's brought to you by Pruitt Health, where family makes us stronger. Proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs. Marvin Harrison, who's had a whale of a game for Ohio State, being tended to over the back line of the end zone. They help him up. 5 catches, 106 yards, and 2 scores tonight. He's going to need to hang on to some bodies, I think, to get to the sideline, maybe.
Well, how that football wasn't picked off, first of all, it was C.J. Stroud just threw that up.
There is no foul for targeting. It's 4th down.
There you go. Let's pause 10 seconds. Station identification, Bulldog Sports Network. So no targeting on Bullard, who delivered a heck of a blow to Harrison. Pass was incomplete, and Ohio State will have 4th down and goal from the 7-yard line. But they've taken an injury timeout, television has. So we're going to be a little bit before we return to play. 35 seconds remain on the clock here in the third quarter. Piedmont is the official healthcare provider of the Georgia Bulldogs. Thanks to Piedmont for sponsoring University of Georgia Bulldogs football. And while we have a moment, let's recap the Meriwether and Tharp scoreboard. Meriwether and Tharp, the Atlanta Divorce team. On the other half of the playoffs, TCU has advanced. In case you missed that one, the Horned Frogs beat Michigan tonight in the Fiesta Bowl 51-45 in a thrilling contest out west. Earlier today, Iowa 21-0 on Kentucky. Alabama beat Kansas State in the Sugar Bowl 45-20. And that Iowa-Kentucky game was the Music City Bowl in Nashville. There's a couple of more bowl games. Oh, the Rose Bowl is coming up on Monday with Utah and Penn State, and I think there may be one or two other bowl games on Monday before we officially get out of the bowl season. And then the national championship game on January 9th in Los Angeles against one of these teams and TCU. 35 seconds to go. Buckeyes to try for a field goal here, which is basically nothing more than a glorified extra point in this situation. He's right in front of the goalpost between the hash marks. He'll kneel down on the 15 and try a 25-yard field goal. Noah Ruggles, a graduate from Odessa, Florida. Snap back, and the kick is good. 38-24. It's a 2-touchdown lead, 14 points with 31 seconds to go in the third quarter. And the Buckeyes extend the lead by 3, their first field goal of the game. It was a 7-play, 59-yard drive in 3 minutes and 19 seconds. And a 25-yard field goal was the scoring play. That's your Georgia Metals drive summary. From a doghouse to a dog's house, Georgia Metals has got you covered.
The Dogs have kind of gone stagnant here in this third quarter. We've got to find a way to get this offense reignited. You can tell we've come out, tried to establish a run, really haven't been able to get anything going. Part of that problem is on third down, we have just struggled tremendously. Now 2 out of 8, far below our season average. And Ohio State getting more aggressive here as this game progresses, bringing up safeties, getting them 10 yards in from the line of scrimmage. Dogs now really forced to open this back up a little bit, find a way to put points on the board.
Kickoff by Ohio State will land in the end zone. Dogs will walk away from it, take a touchback. Dogs have 15 total yards of offense in the quarter and have yet to complete a pass here in the third. And they'll get that opportunity coming up here now, down 2 touchdowns with 31 seconds plus the fourth quarter to go here in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. And that's your third quarter recap presented by Ag South, Ag Georgia, and Southwest Georgia Farm Credit, loan for land and farms. Bennett 12 of 21, 191 throwing. He's been picked once. He's got a touchdown. Stroud's been ripping it. He's got 319 yards, 19 of 26, and 4 TDs. Dogs from the 25. Bennett to throw, and he'll put it in the air to Kenny McIntosh on the near side. He had some blocking for a second. McIntosh up to the 40 on the near sideline, and then late in the play as he's being surrounded by white shirts, big Xavier Truss kind of came in to give him a shove from behind at the 42-yard line. He picks up a big Scana Energy first down on the first play of the series, 17 yards, and the Dogs get ready to go at the 42. McIntosh effective out of the backfield again, and that's the end of the quarter.
You had a nice call there by Todd Monk, and Ohio State starting to pin their ears back a little bit. We call a screen pass just to slow that rush down.
15 minutes to go. Dogs have to play catch up. We're not used to that. We'll see if we can accomplish the task here in the final period. We light up Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta with 4 fingers in the air and down 14. 38-24. Ohio State leads Georgia as we go to the fourth. Our second half tonight brought to you by First Franklin Financial, serving our neighbors since 1941. We're back to the big stadium in downtown Atlanta right after this on the Bulldog Sports Network.
Nothing kicks off your game better than a handful of Georgia peanuts. Power packed with protein, essential nutrients, and great taste. Georgia peanuts are the MVP for affordability, sustainability, and nutrition. To score life's touchdowns with recipes and fun facts, check out GAPeanuts.com. The perfectly powerful peanut is brought to you by the family farmers of the Georgia Peanut Commission.
Peanuts! Get your peanuts! Bring it in, guys. T-Mobile now has 5G home internet across the SEC. So, lots of people could be streaming our games this season.
That's like millions of people. It's a lot of pressure, bro.
Fans get T-Mobile network coverage that goes beyond. Powerful enough to bring reliable internet across the SEC. Switch to 5G home internet for just $50 a month with autopay. Check availability at T-Mobile.com/SEC Wi-Fi.
Qualifying credit required. Regulatory fees included in price for qualified accounts, plus $5 per month without autopay. $35 connection or support charge applies.
Piedmont Bank is a proud partner of the UGA Athletic Association. When you need a business banking ally who is as invested in your goals as you are, you can depend on us. We are committed to supporting members of the local community by providing the tools they need to achieve financial success. Through our partnership with the UGA Athletic Association, we believe in a Georgia where we all succeed. Piedmont Bank, knowing you better, serving you best. Learn more at Piedmont.bank. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
With the Kroger Plus card, it's easy to get lower than low prices for the win. And for every dollar you spend, you earn fuel points, which can add up to $1 per gallon off at the pump for the win. Plus, save every day on groceries and get personalized digital coupons for the win. The Kroger Plus card, all you do is win. Big, big savings. Sign up now at Kroger.com and start saving. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply.
We go to the fourth quarter, 38-24. Ohio State leads Georgia by 2 touchdowns and 2 extra points. Dogs ball on our 42-yard line. 1st and 10 as we rejoin you from the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Glad to have you along on this New Year's Eve as we count you down to 2023 in 54 minutes. Hope you stay safe wherever you may be. And let's hope the Bulldogs can get at least 2 more touchdowns before we get out of here. And a 2-point conversion. Kendall Milton in the backfield for the Dogs now. On 1st and 10 from the 42. Bennett under center. Stretch play fake, sets up in the pocket, plenty of time, moves to his left, throws it out in the left flat to Arian Smith. Makes the catch along the sideline, then up he goes close to the 50. They'll trip him up at the 48-yard line. Steele Chambers, the linebacker. Gain of 6. 2nd and 4 Bulldogs. With the final 15 starting to tick away now.
Dogs trying to take a page out of the Ohio State playbook there. Little half roll by Stetson to his right. I believe he was looking for Brock Bowers on the backside. Ohio State has had Brock Bowers covered up this entire game. Taken away number 19. Good job by Stetson getting to his check down Smith.
No Darnell Washington in the game. Early injured in the first half and has not returned since. Bennett will throw it over the line of scrimmage to Edwards, who makes the catch in Buckeye territory around the 45. 2 men hit him at the 43, led by Eichenberg, but that's a Scana Energy first down for the Bulldogs. Georgia goes quickly. There's Bowers. He's open. Bennett hits him at the 28. Brock to the 20, down to the 18-yard line before they bring him down. Another Scana Energy first down. Hickman that had to make the tackle. And that pass to Bowers also gets the Dogs in the Massey Ferguson red zone. At the 18, we go quickly. Handoff, a fake by Bennett. He spins away from one tackler, can't get away from the second one, although he almost did at the 15-yard line. Down at the 14.
Dogs finally now going with a little bit of rhythm, a little bit of tempo. Getting a little bit of energy back in that unit. We didn't have it at all in the 3rd quarter.
2nd down. Stet got 3 on that run. 2nd down and 7 at the 14-yard line. Ball's on the far hash. Guys in red are moving to our right here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Bennett under center. Motion man is Bowers. We hand it to him on an end around. Ohio State comes up to play. Bowers with a stiff arm. Then they level him on the near sideline around the 18-yard line. Around the 13-yard line. Lathan Ransom, one of the guys that went low on Brock Bowers. Ohio State had studied number 19 and for the last 5 weeks or so.
Boy, did they
done a good job on him tonight.
Did they ever? Not having the big O in the game right there hurt. Yet Oscar Delp, decent block, but was more of a shield Get Darnell Washington there. He's blowing that defender up and allows Brock Bowers to get up the field a little bit quicker where there was an alley.
Only got a yard on that play. It's 3rd down and 6 now from the Buckeyes 13. Snap it back to Bennett. Pressure from his front side. He throws it short into the end zone. He had a man in the back of the end zone, but the ball short hops right around the goal line. Incomplete, and it'll be 4th down. A.D. Mitchell was the guy open back closer to the back left corner of the pylon, and the defender had left him about 3 yards open behind him. But Bennett couldn't get him the ball. 4th down and 6 to go.
Well, Bennett thought A.D. was running an out route. I think that was a busted route by Mitchell.
With 12:15 to go, the Dogs will keep the offense on the field on 4th down and 6. At the Buckeye 13-yard line. 2 receivers left, now 2 to the right as they bring Bowers in motion, put him in the slot to the right. Milton is in the backfield. Bennett moving guys around. Play clock at 1. They snap it, get it off in time, throw it to Bowers on the near side, and Brock catches it at the 8, tries to stretch and reach for the 1st down.
Going to be short.
I think that spot is going to leave him short, yeah. They spot him out at the 8. He needed to get to the 7. I'd like to see another look at the spot, and we'll get it here. As we look at the replay. Ooh. Wow.
Boy, it's going to be close.
Yeah, Georgia might want to challenge on that.
It's a whole lot closer than...
That was a heck of a view, too, by the camera.
It's a whole lot closer where that spot was.
The runner short of the line to gain is under review.
Yeah, there you go. Timeout on the field while they review the play. Pruitt Health brings you this play under review, where family makes a stronger, proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs. We'll take a timeout. Our second half brought to you by First Franklin's Financial. Go see the friendly Franklin folks at one of their convenient Georgia locations. Plays under review. Dogs trail by 14 on the Bulldog Sports Network.
East Georgia Cancer Coalition here. There's nothing like watching the Dogs play on Dooley Field. Fans, don't forget to reapply your sunscreen every 2 hours. Wearing a sunscreen with an SPF of at least 30 can help reduce the risk of developing skin cancer by 50%. So, regularly reapply your sunscreen. And don't forget to say, "Go Dogs, sick 'em, woo, woo, woo." For more information, visit eastgadawgs.org.
Georgia is our home. That's why at Georgia Power, we're building the future of energy. Over the last decade, we've invested nearly $10 billion to strengthen the electric grid, installing new substations, upgrading transformers, moving power lines underground, and investing in cleaner energy. We're making the electric grid more resilient and reliable for you and for future generations. At Georgia Power, we know that making smart investments today prepares us to meet our customers' needs tomorrow.
The Dogs are heard right here. This is the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
It takes hard work to be the best in the game. Planning, commitment, resilience, sweat. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in theirs. Old Dominion Freight Line, official freight carrier of Georgia Athletics, helping the world keep promises.
'Twas right before the holidays and down BMW Road, not a driver was stressed, only good vibes flowed. Could it be because one sat in his BMW's plush leather seats or drove hundreds of miles without a slip in the sleet? Another drove far and yet was not stressed since she was cruising with intelligent GPS.
I've started guidance.
This holiday season, take on the ultimate drive when you buy a BMW 5 Series X7 or X5.
Proud sponsor of Georgia Athletics. Visit BMWATL.com today. Go Dogs!
Back in the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth, they overturn the call. Georgia does get the first down at the 7. So it's goal to go for the Dogs on the Buckeye 7-yard line. 12:04 to go in the game. Dogs down 38-24. Bennett in the shotgun. We send McConkey in motion left. Toss sweep to the short side. Edwards cuts at the 6, inside the 5, tackled at the 3-yard line by Jean-Baptiste and Ransom, the safety. 2nd and goal from the 3 now for the Dogs. Delp and Bowers, the tight ends in the game, blocking on this side to help Edwards get inside the 5.
Same play that we ran earlier in the football game. Little quick pitch into the boundary. Nice block there by Delp and Brock Bowers for a solid pickup.
Kendall Milton checks into the game now, Z, and Bennett looks like he will go under center. Double tight ends to the right. Washington is injured. He's out of the game. Delp's been playing the majority, along with Bowers, and McConkey's on this edge too. Fake the handoff and throw it to get on the ball. He threw it. He lateraled it back to McConkey on the left side after they faked the dive. Tried to get a little tricky going to the left. And Bennett's pass was a little bit short. He didn't quite reach McConkey. It landed on the ground, but it was, as you heard, a backwards pass, a lateral. So it was a live ball. McConkey scrambled to get on it. But we lose yardage back to the 13-yard line.
Boy, almost an impossible pass to catch right there. They had what they wanted, but Stetson short-armed it. It was absolutely a lateral.
10-yard loss. Now it's 3rd and goal from the 13. Whoa, we just can't get out of our own way tonight. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Bennett from the far hash will throw it towards the end zone and broken up. Tried to go to McConkey about a yard deep, and there were 3 or 4 white shirts around him, led by Hickman and Brown, 2 of the secondary men that broke up the pass play. And now the Dogs will try to get points here off the leg of Jackpot Lesney.
Ohio State dropped 8. When you're in the red zone like that, really very small windows to throw the football. A little bit of a force there by Stetson, but not much else you can do. Knowing that you've got to get 7 points here, Dawes going to have to settle for a field goal.
After the big overturned call on the 3rd down play, a tremendous play by Bowers to get the 1st down, and then we come up empty. Here's the point, or the field goal try, rather, from 31 yards, and the field goal is good by Pod. And that puts points on the board for Georgia. It's 38-27 with 10:14 to go in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. Timeout here in Atlanta. 2nd half tonight brought to you by First Franklin Financial. Visit 1ffc.com to learn more. The deficit is 11 again on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Game day is full of ifs. Like if Georgia can take home another national championship title. Who knows? But if you want the most convenient way to pay in Athens, get the Georgia Bulldogs Regions Visa debit card. Tap to pay contactless card technology and Lock-It card controls give you what you need on game day or any day. To order your card, visit regions.com/GoDogs. Regions, official bank of the SEC. Member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
I'm attorney Ken Nugent, and I'm here with legendary Georgia Bulldog quarterback and radio host Buck Paloo.
Ken and I are teaming up to give back to the brave men and women of our military. Ken's going to donate $500 to one member of the military every Bulldog football game this season.
If you're a member of the military, go to attorneykennugent.com to enter.
And somebody's going to win $500 every game.
One click.
That's it.
Ken Nugent, proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Who says cats and dogs don't get along? Bobcat of Atlanta is a proud sponsor of the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network. With a full lineup of Bobcat equipment, we're here to partner with you for all your compact equipment needs. This fall, we're expanding to better serve you with 2 new locations in Peachtree City and Carrollton. Visit our team today at one of our locations in Norcross, Marietta, Riverdale, Gainesville, Covington, or on the web at bobcatofatlanta.com. Go Dogs!
With the Kroger Plus card, it's easy to get lower than low prices for the win. And for every $1 you spend, you earn fuel points, which can add up to $1 per gallon off at the pump for the win. Plus, save every day on groceries and get personalized digital coupons for the win. The Kroger Plus card, all you do is win. Big, big savings. Sign up now at Kroger.com and start saving. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply.
Along with Eric Zier, Scott Howard with you here in the Piedmont Healthcare Radio booth at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. DJ Shockley, our man on the sidelines. Chris Schiavone, Neil Williamson here spotting. Our engineer is Adam Gillespie. Our statistician is Jay Black. Luke Nadkarni in our network studios. And the Champions for Charity game is on. Every time the Dogs win, Camp Twin Lakes, the Salvation Army, and Children's Healthcare of Atlanta win. And I'll finish that after the kick by Pod, which will sail into the end zone. Caught by Johnson, but a touchback. Walton Gas will donate $1,000 to each of the previously mentioned local charities for every regular season win the Dogs had this year, and for every bowl game the Dogs win. That includes this one here tonight. Walton Gas will donate $5,000. Everyone's a winner with Walton Gas. Touchback for Ohio State. They'll take the ball at the 25 with 10:14 remaining in somebody's season.
And Scott, a couple of squandered opportunities there in the third quarter, and then right there on that drive, we get the football on our own 32 going in. We get nothing out of it. And then have the ball on the 4-yard line. A 10-yard backward pass fumble. Have to settle for 3.
Ohio State will try to run it with a toss sweep to Johnson to the near side. We stack him up close to the sideline at the 27-yard line. Javon Bullard leading the charge. They may spot it up on the 28. Looks like that's where they will spot it. So the gain was 3 for Johnson. Kind of a makeshift back tonight. 6'2" and 215, so he's not small, but he's normally more of a slot type receiver. There's a throw by Stroud over the middle, a tight end, and a late penalty flag comes in from the way back judge. Georgia's saying they tipped the pass, and that's what one of the officials is saying.
There is no foul for defensive pass interference. The ball was tipped.
There's the explanation. So stuff that flag back in your britches. Second down. Third down, rather. Third down at 7.
Jalen Carter, who was able to get a big paw up very late, tipped the back into that football barely.
We were kind of running through the receiver at the time. That's why the flag came in. But the pass had already been tipped at that point. You can do whatever you want to. Third down for the Buckeyes on their own 28-yard line. Stroud in the shotgun. Noise getting loud here in the bins. Stroud sees an opening, will pull it down and run to the 30, to the 33. Reaches for the 35. I don't think he got it. He's going to be short before we tackled him going into the boundary. Smile Munden, the linebacker, chasing him and making the stop. They spot the ball at the 34. Going to be a yard shy, I believe. Third and a yard to go, maybe less than a yard. And Ohio State will punt, I'm guessing.
Yeah, Stroud's foot went out of bounds. We were close to getting a little horse tackle collar there. Smile Munden had him up. The top of the shoulder pads slid off of him. So good job there by the Dogs. Nice hold. Now can we go answer quickly?
Oh, they run the fake. They run the fake punt and they convert it. No, wait a minute. Georgia called a timeout. Georgia got the timeout before they snapped the football. They snapped it to the up back, and he veered around the left edge and got the first down. But I heard the whistle right when the ball was being snapped, and Georgia was calling a timeout. So we will too. The Dogs sensed it was coming, and they beat the clock. 8:58 to go in the game. Ohio State 38, Georgia 27. Second half brought to you by First Franklin Financial, serving our neighbors since 1941. Back after this on the Bulldogs Sports Network.
Oh Camry, and Highlander, and RAV4, and Corolla, and even more, available at Toyotathon.
Lease a new 2022 Toyota RAV4 LE for $299 a month for 36 months. Toyota, let's go places. Offer valid through January 3rd, 2023. Well-qualified lessees with approved credit through Southeast Toyota Finance. $35.98 due at signing. No security deposit with select equipment. $350 disposition fee. Excludes tax, tag, registration, title, and dealer fees. See dealer for details.
Everyone deserves a great smile, so Smile Doctors Orthodontics is here to help you, dogs fans. Smile Doctors accepts most insurance, and whether it's braces or Invisalign aligners, anyone can get the smile they've always wanted with our affordable payment options. With some of the country's leading orthodontists and 50 clinics all over Bulldog Nation, we love to see dogs fans smile with confidence. So get that amazing smile you deserve. Visit SmileDoctors.com today and book your free consult. That's SmileDoctors.com for Smile Doctors Orthodontics. And go Dogs.
Georgia is our home. That's why at Georgia Power, we're building the future of energy. Over the last decade, we've invested nearly $10 billion to strengthen the electric grid, installing new substations, upgrading transformers, moving power lines underground, and investing in cleaner energy. We're making the electric grid more resilient and reliable for you and for future generations. At Georgia Power, we know that making smart investments today prepares us to meet our customers' needs tomorrow.
Hello, I'm Neil Pruitt, Chairman and CEO of Pruitt Health. Our Georgia Bulldogs have shown us what happens when a great team pulls together. At Pruitt Health, our team helps you recover from surgery or a major health event. Nurses, therapists, a whole team dedicated to giving people the personalized care they need. Come join the Pruitt Health team. Email hireme@pruitthealth.com. That's hireme@pruitthealth.com. Pruitt Health is a proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs.
Well, you've got us where we've been all night inside the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Happy New Year to you. We're coming down the stretch run here in the fourth. Less than 9 minutes to go. A little more than a half hour before 2023 here in the Eastern Time Zone. Ohio State 38, Georgia 27, and Georgia football is brought to you in part by your Atlanta area BMW centers, providing legendary performance, exceptional offers, and a premium ownership experience. At BMW, they only make one thing, the ultimate driving machine. Visit BMWATL.com today, proud sponsor of Georgia Athletics, and go Dogs. Ohio State with the punt unit out there again. And we'll see if they try to kick it this time. I have a feeling they will. They'll snap it back. About 4 steps to the right, and the punt is away. A fair catch called for by Kieris inside the Georgia 25 on the far side of the field. And the Dogs will have the ball there as they place it down at the 24. 8:51 to go. It's an 11-point game. 42-yard punt, no return after that exchange of the ball.
Stetson now 17 out of 28, 255 yards through the air. He's got the touchdown and the 1 pick. Dogs on the ground, 136 yards rushing the football right now. The big thorn on our side has been our execution on 3rd down tonight. Just 2 for 10 for the Dogs.
Not good. Georgia, one of the better teams in the country, over 51% on 3rd downs for the season, but not tonight. Play fake to McIntosh for Bennett. Sets up on the 15. Yanks it deep. Oh, look at Arian Smith. That's going to be a touchdown. He caught it at the 30, 20, 10. They won't catch him. Touchdown! Touchdown! 76 yards!
Boy, Dogs needed that so bad. The Ohio State defender, I believe, fell down. I have to go back and check out a replay, but Arian Smith running wide open. It was either a complete bust in coverage or the defender fell down, but Stetson, give him credit for seeing it, recognizing it, and just throwing a laser.
Well, if he saw that developing, it's almost like, oh, I got to throw it, I got to throw it, I got to throw it. And he was so wide open, and you can't miss that. And we didn't. And Georgia has closed the gap, and now they will go for 2. Down 5, will go for 2 with 8:41 to go. Ball's on the 3. McIntosh in the backfield. We bring McConkey in motion on the 2-point try to the near side. Snap it back to Stet. Here comes pressure. Throw it to McConkey. We got it! 2-point conversion right on the goal line. They hit him on the near side. It's a 3-point game, 38-35. Dogs aren't done yet.
Boy, somehow all the energy in this building was gone. Dogs somehow find a way to scratch their way back in after a couple of missed opportunities. Don't miss that one on that play. The huge touchdown pass to Arian Smith. Big two-point conversion. Dogs most definitely still with life.
Arian Smith with that catch. He only had 3 all season coming into this. He's battled injuries. That's his first touchdown of the year. And a huge one it was, needless to say. And then the two-point conversion to McConkey makes it 38-35. The Dogs go 76 yards in one play. It took 10 seconds and convert a two-pointer to make it a 3-point game. That's your Georgia Metals drive summary. From a doghouse to a dog's house, Georgia Metals has got you covered. All right, now how do you feel with 8:41 to go? And the Dogs will kick it away.
You feel better. I'd feel better if we were 3 up.
Certainly. That kick will come down about 2 or 3 yards deep in the end zone, and Ohio State will watch it bounce over the back line. Georgia's kick coverage team trying to get the fans in that end zone jacked up and making some noise. We need noise on this defensive series coming up for the Bulldogs. Ohio State will have it at the 25-yard line. Dogs still behind, but only by 3 now. It's 38-35.
Boy, I feel like we've been climbing a mountain all game long and get up close to the top and then just slide halfway back down and find our way and fight our way back up. The Dogs defensively, we've struggled with this Ohio State passing game. Can we find some answers now?
1st and 10 at the 25 for the Buckeyes. Stroud to throw, right side, caught at the 29. And Fleming, the receiver, veers inside, and we tackle him across the 30 at the 33. Christopher Smith, the safety. But that's 8 yards on 1st down. It's 2nd and 2.
Yeah, just a quick in route by Fleming there, able to find a little bit of space. Dogs do a good job of conversion on the football and keep the gain only to 8.
Fleming's 4th catch of the game. Harrison, I don't think, has returned since he got knocked into next week by Javon Bullard earlier in this half. Handoff to Hayden, swinging around the right side. He's got yardage, and he had a lead blocker as well. And around the corner he goes across the 40 to the 45 before Smith makes another tackle for the Dogs.
Now we lost contain there, just got pinned in by Jones, the big right tackle for Ohio State. A lot of room to run there, and now Ohio State slowing this thing down a little bit.
He got 12 yards on that run. 1st and 10 Buckeyes at their own 45. 7:30 on the clock in a 3-point game. And a berth in the national championship to face TCU a week from Monday in Los Angeles. Stroud wants to toss it. Here comes blitz pressure by Munden. He avoids it. Tight ropes the sideline. We belt him out of bounds with Tresman Marshall, the linebacker, gave up his body and knocked Stroud into the boundary on the far side of the field at the 49-yard line. He got 4 yards. Stroud did. He had a man over to his right on the right sideline, but he never pitched it. Looked like he wanted to initially, and then he decided to keep it and run.
The Dogs pinning their ears back, staying aggressive, trying to bring pressure every chance they get.
Buckeyes trying to milk some clock. Less than 7 minutes to go. 6:45 and counting. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. 1 back in the backfield is Johnson. Snap it back to Stroud. Pressure. He rolls away from it. Near side. We're chasing. Stroud going to keep it. 50, 45, 40, 35, 34, 33. And down there, Smith made the tackle deep in the Georgia secondary at the Bulldogs. Where they're going to spot it. They spot him back on the 34-yard line.
We brought Bullard again on the weak side blitz. Stroud able to see at that time, spin out, and there was no second guessing there. He was running the football.
He got 22. Now they toss sweep it to Johnson, and Stackhouse is going to eat him up on the near side, right around the numbers. As he tried to run it wide to the left, we've got a man down. That's Michael Williams grabbing his knee. Stackhouse made the stop at the 32-yard line. The tackle on Xavier Johnson, who was carrying the football. Dogs with another injured player. Boy, we've had way too many of those tonight.
Boy, have we ever. And it's taken its toll on the Dogs, too.
Timeout here in the big stadium. 6:05 to go in the ball game. Ohio State 38, Georgia 35. Our second half brought to you tonight by First Franklin Financial, serving our neighbors since 1941. Back in a moment, Bulldog Sports Network.
I'm attorney Ken Nugent, and I'm here with legendary Georgia Bulldog quarterback and radio host Buck Bellew.
Ken and I are teaming up to give back to the brave men and women of our military. Ken's going to donate $500 to one member of the military every Bulldog football game this season.
If you're a member of the military, go to attorneykennugent.com to enter.
And somebody's going to win $500 every game.
One click.
That's it.
Ken Nugent, proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.
Hey, I'm driving. I joined the new Dunkin' Rewards program, and today's the day I'm going to use my points on a medium iced latte and a couple of chocolate frosted donuts.
Here you go, and thanks for being a rewards member.
And now I'm using those chocolate frosted donuts, kids, to get a few sweet, sweet, blissful minutes of beautiful relief from the never-ending onslaught of backseat bickering.
Join new Dunkin' Rewards today. Join new Dunkin' Rewards today. Save them, stack them, use them how you want. America runs on Dunkin'. Terms apply.
Bring it in, guys. T-Mobile now has 5G home internet across the SEC. So, lots of people could be streaming our games this season. That's like millions of people.
It's a lot of pressure, bro. Fans get T-Mobile network coverage that goes beyond. Powerful enough to bring reliable internet across the SEC. Switch to 5G home internet for just $50 a month with AutoPay. Check availability at T-Mobile.com/SEC Wi-Fi.
Qualifying credit required. Regulatory fees included in price for qualified accounts, plus $5 per month without AutoPay. $35 connection or support charge applies.
Oh Camry, and Highlander and RAV4 and Corolla and even more. Available at Toyotathon.
Get 1.9% APR for 36 months on a new 2022 Toyota RAV4. Toyota, let's go places. Offer valid through January 3rd, 2023. Zero down for well-qualified buyers with approved credit and financing through Southeast Toyota Finance. $28.60 monthly payment for every $1,000 financed. Excludes tax, tag, registration, title, and dealer fees. See dealer for details.
Georgia's injured player, Michael Williams, was able to get up and walk for the most part, very gingerly, albeit on his own to the sideline. They put him on the bench. They haven't taken him into the medical tent, but he's getting some oxygen on the bench while the training staff tends to him. But he was able to walk mostly on his own. Again, it was very ginger walk with a little bit of a limp, but we'll see if we can get some information on that later. We've already lost Chaz Chambliss tonight and Darnell Washington. Buckeyes on the Georgia 32. 6:02 remaining. Second down and 8 for Ohio State. They lead by 3. Snap it back to Stroud. He fakes the end around. Now we'll throw it to the guy he faked it to, Xavier Johnson. We hit him at the 34, spin him around, and he falls ahead to the 32-yard line. Ringo with the tackle for the Bulldogs. Third down coming up. And he got nothing on that play. Third down and 8 as we hit him behind the line, but he spun forward to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Dogs in cover 2 there. Good job by Keely Ringo recognizing that Stroud was going to his check down. Johnson and came up, made a nice open field tackle. Ohio State on third down, 3 out of 9 for the evening.
Here's a third down and 8 try with one back in the backfield for Stroud. Quick throw at the 25. It's caught. Ibuka just kind of went low, bent his knees and caught that ball low off the turf, and then got another yard or 2 after that to get the first down, and we tackle him around the 23-yard line, so he looked like he got almost 9 yards. And it's a first down for the Buckeyes.
Boy, just too easy there. Free inside release by Ibuka. Just a quick slant. Easy pitch and catch right there. Ball gets out of Stroud's hands quickly. Nothing that you can do when you allow that free inside release.
8th catch for Ibuka tonight, 112 yards. Harrison had 5 for 106 before he got blown up. Stroud's under center now with one back in the backfield. Taking his time, watching the play clock melt down to 2, down to 1, and now they snap it, and Ohio State called a timeout right before he snapped the football. So the Buckeyes take a time. Just trying to get as much time off that clock as they can. But if they get points here, it's going to be tough for Georgia, although there would be some time, you would think. The difference is 3 right now. The Dogs would love a stop and not force a field goal or anything like that. A field goal wouldn't do too much damage, but a touchdown certainly would.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at some of the offensive updates in this game. Brought to you by Associated Credit Union, where anyone in Georgia can live, bank, and grow. Offensive numbers for the Dogs tonight. Georgia's thrown for 331 yards passing. Stetson Bennett 18 of 29, 2 touchdowns and an interception. The Bulldogs have rushed for 136. Leading rusher in the game is Kenny McIntosh with 70 yards on 5 attempts. We haven't really run the ball a great deal tonight. Any one guy, the most carries anybody has is Edwards. He has 8. Leading receiver is now Arian Smith with 3 catches. We've got 3 guys with 3 catches, but Smith has 3 for 129 and a touchdown. He caught a 76-yarder a few moments ago for a score. 4:26 to go in the game. 1st and 10, Ohio State. Stroud's going to fake it and keep it and run to the near side. We chase him out of bounds, and he gets tangled up in some cabling. Over on the left side, Smile Munden pushed him out. I don't see any flags. He just had momentum and went way out of bounds in the sideline on the near side. He ran over a person as well.
Ran over a lady on the sideline. She looks to be okay, though.
She took a pretty good shot looking at the replay.
Yeah, Stroud at the push from Smile Munden. Stroud couldn't slow his momentum down and ran over her, but a 5-yard pickup there on the scramble by C.J. Stroud.
Ball's on the 18, 2nd and 5, Ohio State as they get into the red zone again. Clock ticking at 3:46, 3:45. Stroud has it. Pressure coming in his face, and will sack him back on the 33-yard line. Jamon Dumas-Johnson, the linebacker, came up the middle. Bear Alexander was on his way. Bullard was in the vicinity. And Stroud just kind of ate the ball and fell to the turf back at the 33. Where are they going to spot it up again? At the 30?
There's no way they're spotting it at the 30.
That's where they've got it down. I'm not sure where the spotting ability comes from this officiating crew, but it's been questionable most of the night.
My goodness.
Ball's on the 30. It's still 3rd and 17. So it was a 12-yard loss, but it should have been a 15-yard loss. Stroud in the shotgun, and the backup tight end is in the backfield to block for him. Stroud throws off his back leg, incomplete. Tried to get it to the tight end at the 25. Royer on the left sideline, and that pass was nowhere near.
Boy, Dogs brought the house right there. All kinds of pressure. Stroud, nothing he could do, just trying to get depth and get more depth to get the football off. Huge stand right there by the Dogs, and Ohio State sending the field goal unit out and just trying to stretch this lead to 6 points.
48-yard try here for Ruggles. His long this season is 47. Near hash, kicking left. Snap down. Kick is away. It's reaching, and it is good. Just got it in with a few feet to spare over the upright. That didn't have a lot of leg on it. But he got the 3, and the lead is 6. And the Dogs have the ball coming back their way with 2:43 to go and 2 timeouts. 48-yard field goal by the Buckeyes. The scoring drive was 11 plays and 45 yards. And Ohio State did a good job of getting time off the clock. If you're looking at it from their perspective, almost 6 minutes on that possession for Ohio State. That's your Georgia Metals drive summary. From a doghouse to a dog's house, Georgia Metals has got you covered.
Yeah, difference in this football game right now. The interception that led to 7 points for Ohio State, and the Dogs 2 missed field goals. Get some other missed opportunities that are hidden within the game for sure, but those missed field goals and the pick stand out for certain.
Well, Georgia's going to have a chance here. We haven't led much of the night. Ohio State's had the lead for the majority of the second half. Well, all of the second half, right? Here's the kick, and Jackson's going to return it. Kieris across the 20, near sideline 25, hit at the 28 and jammed up there. They tackle him on the near sideline. Huge pile of players there for Kieris Jackson on the return. And when they bring the ball out of the pile, they'll spot it on the near hash mark. And it's your guess as to where it will be put down. On the 28-yard line, it looks like. Oh, my goodness. 2:36 remaining. Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl playoff semifinal. Spot in the national championship on the line. Dogs down to Ohio State by 6 in the second meeting ever. In the first in 3 decades. 41-35. Dogs need a touchdown and a point after to take the lead. Bennett short throw over the line of scrimmage, straight down the hash, straight up the hash to the 30 to McIntosh. He makes the catch, hit immediately by the linebacker Eichenberg. And the gain was only a couple. Second down and 8.
Yeah, good coverage downfield. Smart decision there by Stetson. Just take what you can get to your check down.
He's got 3 men out to his left and 1 to the right, and Kenny Mack in the backfield with him. Stet to throw in the pocket, pressure from behind. He gets rid of the football. Bowers catches it at the Georgia 45 and tackled right there on the edge of the logo by Ransom, the safety. But a 15-yard pickup and a first down for the Dogs with the clock at an even 2 minutes. Now less than that.
A rope thrown there by Stetson Bennett.
Bennett, as the Dogs go hurry, flag down, deep ball, far sideline for McConkey, and batted up and away. A lot of hand fighting, incomplete at the 5.
Well, Stetson thinks that he had a free play right there and was just chucking that one downfield.
There's also a flag in the Ohio State secondary. 2 flags on the field.
Offside, defense number 58. 5-yard penalty. Replay second down.
So apparently what this guy in the backfield saw is the same thing the line judge saw at the line of scrimmage. So they both pick up their flags. It's a 5-yard penalty on Ohio State and a first down for Georgia with the ball squarely on the 50-yard line, right smack dab in the middle of the field on the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl logo.
The Dogs went tempo there and caught Ohio State trying to get a guy off the field. Really smart play by Stetson. Good use of tempo. Smart play to take a shot when you've got the free play.
4 receivers in the formation. The tight end to the left is in a wing. Bennett to throw with good protection. He's got Kieris. Spins around, makes the catch at the 22. They tackle him at the 15.
2 deep beater post by Kieris Jackson. A strike again delivered by Stetson Bennett. Now Stetson trying to slow it down just a little bit.
Hickman made the stop, 35 yards on the pass play. Dogs in the Massey Ferguson red zone. Bennett throws it over the middle to McIntosh, catches it around the 12 or 13, and then 2 white shirts hit him at the 10. He got 5 yards, second down. Clock moving at 123, 122, 121. Dogs have 2 timeouts. Ohio State has 2 timeouts. It's 41-35. Georgia trails by 6.
Boy, what a ball right there by Stetson Bennett. Nice route by Kieris Jackson.
Everyone on their feet here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Nobody sitting in this one. From the 10, snap it back to Bennett. He looks in the end zone, throws it for the back corner. Caught! Caught! Touchdown! 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 A.D. Mitchell! Back left corner! Touchdown! The Dogs have tied it!
Corner route there by A.D. Mitchell. Great protection by Georgia right there, by the Georgia offensive line, giving Stetson all kinds of time to throw that football. And A.D. Mitchell finds a way to escape.
Oh, A.D. Mitchell had a big catch last year in the national championship game. I don't know if there's anyone bigger than that one right there, though. To get the Bulldogs in this position, tied at 41. Point after try by Jackpot Lesney to put the Dogs in front with 54 seconds to go. Snap, hold, kick in the air. Good! Georgia 42, Ohio State 41. 54 seconds to go. Oh my goodness. What a drive by the Dogs.
Boy, Stetson Bennett, right when you felt like this Georgia team was done, they find a way to claw their way back into the lead. Now, can the defense that has just been picked apart by C.J. Stroud and this Ohio State receiving corps, can they find a way to get one stop?
That was what, a 73-yard drive? 72 yards. How many plays was it? Five plays, 72 yards, 15-yard touchdown strike to A.D. Mitchell. That's the Georgia Metals drive summary from a doghouse to a dog's house. Georgia Metals has got you covered. Let's go down to Shock on the Ken Nugent sidelines. One call, that's all. DJ, what do you got?
Yeah, as we approach this last drive here with them on the field, Kobe mentioned the last thing he came out was we have to get pressure on C.J. Stroud. The last series we saw that. Expect all out pressure here on this last drive.
Here's Pod's kick into the end zone. Bounces back towards the pylon on the far side. It'll be a touchback. Ohio State will have the ball. 2 timeouts, 54 seconds. Starting at their 25-yard line. Georgia sideline is going nuts.
There's not a soul that's left this building, and for good reason. We're another classic.
You know, it would really be magical if we can win this right at the stroke of midnight. 10 minutes away from 2023. The Dogs trying to go out with a big bang in 2022. Ohio State sends a player onto the field late, one of their tight ends. Now Georgia can sub if they want. The center judge is up over the football, holding play. No, that was the umpire. Now Ohio State will move guys around. 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Buckeyes trail by 1. Stroud in the pocket, pressure from behind from Carter. Stroud takes off to the 30. We trip him up. Ballard got a piece of him, or Bullard, excuse me. Javon Bullard tripped him up around the 27. He kind of dove off his feet there after he was losing his balance to the 30.
Boy, another dog is down. Robert Beal this time.
Play stops with 39 seconds to go for the injury timeout for another Georgia player. And they put 43 seconds on the clock. They add 4 seconds. All right, Hondo says Michael Williams came back in on that last play after he was shaken up. So he was back in the ball game. Let's wrap up our business with Ag South and Ag Georgia and Southwest Georgia Farm Credit Loans for Land and Farms with this fourth quarter recap. Even though the fourth quarter is not yet over, there's still 43 seconds to go, but Georgia has taken the lead here in the fourth quarter, 42-41. The Dogs have scored 18 fourth quarter points to 3 for Ohio State. Georgia has amassed 534 yards of offense, 398 through the air, 136 on the ground. Stetson Bennett, 23 of 34 for 398, a career high. 3 touchdowns and 1 interception. He's out past Stroud now, statistically, who is 22 of 31 for 336 and 4 touchdowns. But the ball is in Ohio State's hands with 43 seconds to go.
And the clock is going to start right at the snap of the football here after the injury timeout.
Marvin Jones is in for Beal, who just went out injured. Snap it back to Stroud from the 30. Long throw, caught at the 45 near sideline, steps out of bounds as he comes back to the ball. They mark it out at the 42-yard line. And another Georgia player is down, and that's Michael again. Williams is shaken up again for the second time in the game as he came back after the first injury.
And Dogs getting so thin at outside linebacker right now.
Fleming caught that last pass for Ohio State and then kind of curled around back on the Ohio State sideline and stepped out of bounds at the Buckeye 42-yard line, a 12-yard gain. It's going to be a first down for Ohio State after we tend to yet another injured player in red and silver breeches. 39 seconds to go. The clock's just not moving. 42-41 Georgia leading Ohio State. Buckeyes can take the lead with a field goal. Ruggles kicked a 48-yarder a few moments ago for Ohio State. That's his season long. So if you're trying to do some math, Ohio State to match that would need to get to the Georgia 31-yard line. Right now, the Buckeyes are on their own 42. And the way they've been eating up yardage tonight, hasn't been much of a problem for them. But we'll see if the Georgia defense has an answer. Snap it back to Stroud in the shotgun. Pressure from the edges. Going to pull it down and run. Stroud to the 50, 45-40, 35-30, and tackled at the 30 by the legs by Daniel Sisavon. David Daniel Sisavon, the safety, had to save the touchdown. But Stroud ran right down the middle of the field.
Boy, now they are now in field goal range with 24 seconds left.
28-yard scramble by Stroud. They spotted at the 31-yard line, 24 seconds to go. And Ohio State, I think, used a timeout there. Did they use a timeout? No, that was Georgia calling a time. We have one left. They still have two. Stroud with a scramble. Well, they had a good piece of shoulder pad and jersey on Tyrion Ingram-Dawkins there as I look at a replay. But the flag didn't come out of the pocket that time.
Well, and Stroud, who has not run the football much all year, reverted to it today. And it may have just saved the Buckeyes their season and a shot at a national championship.
He's run it 12 times tonight for 34 yards. Excuse me, and that's his longest of 27 yards tonight. First and 10 for the Buckeyes. They're on the Georgia 31. Just 24 seconds to go. It's 42-41. Georgia leading Ohio State. They hand it off to Hayden. He can rip that ball out. Not able to do it this time. Hayden stacked up on the left side around the numbers at the 32. He got no gain really. They're going to spot it right back on the 32-yard line. And Ohio State will call a timeout. They've got one left now. 19 seconds on the clock. Ball's on the 32. That would be approximately a 49-yard field goal try if the ball stays right there in that position by Ohio State. As we said, Ruggles didn't get a lot of leg on that last kick, but it went through from 48 yards out. Well, this is what you want in a playoff game.
Boy, there's no doubt about it. This has been
it's your money's worth.
It has been an absolute war out there on the field today. Just two heavyweights going at it. Dogs find a way to claw back in and now desperately trying to hold on.
All right, Stroud in the shotgun. And he's got Mitch Rossi, who's a tight end, playing in the backfield, providing protection. Snap it back to Stroud. Quick throw to the right. Batted up in the air. Broken up at the 26-yard line. Going for Xavier Johnson and Keely Ringo. Broke up that pass play around the 25 on a quick slant in from the right side. Ball went batted up high in the air. Nobody could get to it on that far side of the field. But Ringo with a nice play in coverage. 15 seconds remaining after the incomplete pass. Third down and 11 for Ohio State.
Boy, great job there by Ringo.
Quick snap. Stroud looks right, looks left. Here comes pressure up the middle. We're chasing. Stroud throws and heaves it into the sideline. Incomplete. Now it's fourth down with 8 seconds to go. And here's where they'll have to try the kick.
It was in the area.
Chris Coit, just making sure that everybody knows that there was no grounding call on the play.
Yeah, Stroud was outside of the pocket anyway, got that football.
This looks like a 50-yard try by Noah Ruggles. They'll kneel down and spot it on the 40. Here's the game with 8 seconds to go. Near hash kicking left and a timeout. Dogs use their final timeout. And we'll pause 10 seconds. Station ID, Bulldog Sports Network. Dogs use the last one. Will it be the last timeout of the season? We don't know. Let's hope we get 6 more to play with a week from Monday. Georgia 42, Ohio State 41. The game comes down to this. Noah Ruggles, a transfer, graduate from North Carolina, Odessa, Florida, 6'2", 190. To kick it from the 40. Kicking left from the near hash, a 50-yard try to put Ohio State in front. Snap, hold, kick. No! Good! No! Good! He missed it! Left! The bench explodes! It's midnight! Happy New Year! 3 seconds left! Ruggles missed a 50-yarder! Georgia 42, Ohio State 41. With 3 ticks to go. Oh my goodness.
Unsuccessful after the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense number 33 throwing his helmet. His first of the game, 15-yard penalty, 1st and 10.
Take a knee and let's go to LA.
Well, the Georgia bench just erupted. The stands have erupted. A game it looked like we had no chance in. Now just secure the snap, take a knee, and go to LA.
After the penalty, the ball is spotted back on the 17-yard line. Do you believe it? Georgia's going to get a chance to defend the national championship against TCU on January 9th at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles.
We're going to be a battered group going into SoFi. All the injuries today.
This team survived it with a massive 4th quarter. 18 points in the quarter. Stetson in the victory formation. Take the snap, take a knee, win the game! Georgia advances to the national championship. Your final in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. Georgia 42, Ohio State 41.
An epic battle that will go down as one of the greatest all-time games in the history of Georgia football.
Dogs rallied from 14 down in the second half. I think everybody had us dead and buried at Missouri earlier this year, and that was only a 13-point deficit. Come back from 14 down here. Ohio State can't believe what just happened. Georgia had the lead for what, less than 2 minutes of this game tonight? Less than 2 minutes in the entire